Guys, how are we sounding? Yes, okay, we have audio, I believe. Bear with me. Properties. Okay. There's still no, there's still no. Okay. Yeah, we have sound. We have sound. We have sound. Woo. Okay, guys. Oh my days. Right. Just check the audio. Can I ask the panel to all say hello? And if you guys can hear the panel, let me know. Akira, sweet. OT, Will, yo, our special guest, Caesar Exposito. You will know him. Guys in the chat. Everyone, does everyone sound good? Can you hear everybody? Sweet, fantastic. Right, let me just fix this weird thing that's going on with the chat. There we go. Okay. What a way to start the 8th episode, eh, guys? I'm so sorry about the absolute nightmare, and yeah, it's ridiculous. Basically, guys, what has happened is I think I've been hacked, because everything on my PC has been deleted. Everything. I came home from work literally 25 minutes ago to find nothing was on my PC. All my podcast assets were gone. I couldn't access the folder. It had been relocated apparently. All my music was gone. Everything. So I had to quickly download these assets that I had pre-stored online to connect to my OBS to get it all up and running as quick as possible. However, there's still yeah, I think Phil got me, guys. I think Phil Spencer got me. But yeah, and I still had to set it all up, and it's just been ridiculous. So yeah, it's been a bit of an unorthodox start to the podcast this week. I do apologise for that. Thank you to everybody for your patience. But let's get this show on the road, because we now have audio. We're all good. We're all good. I just need to take a deep breath and calm down. What's good, everybody? So this is episode 8 of the Company of Gamers podcast. We've got a fire show tonight, my guys. As you could probably tell by the gameplay, we're showing a bit of PT. Just searched up a random demo, as all my gameplay has been deleted as well. So that's wonderful. So I'm just YouTubing it, as I sometimes do, as a backup. Shout out to the SHN Survival Horror Network. That's who I'm streaming currently. So yeah, we have a bit of feedback off the Akira's mic here, but we'll get that sorted. So we have a great show tonight, guys. We're going to be talking about all things Kojima, all things Sony, all things Japan, and all things screwdrivers, and also yeah, all that good stuff. Looking at this thumbnail, I think people don't even know how to use a console anymore. It certainly seems that way. But let's say hi to the panel, because we have a special guest. We will also have another guest, Karaba, who is hoping to jump on as well. We do have room, I believe. So I'll send him an invite. He did ask if he could jump on tonight. So if he's watching, Karaba, feel free to jump on, brother. If you don't already have access to the channel, let me know. But it'd be great to have you on. Special guest for tonight is Caesar Exposito. You may know him as on Twitter. He is a guy I've been following for a long time on Twitter. I'm sure you guys know him. He's quite a connoisseur when it comes to gaming news. He has great takes. And and he has a bit of technical savvy as well. I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's his trade, but would like to get to know a bit more about him. It's an absolute honour to have him on tonight's podcast. This is actually his first ever rodeo, his first ever podcast that he's ever been on. So, Cesar Exposito, my brother, otherwise known as Ofu Domyo. How are you, brother? I'm a little stressed because my PC has been hacked, but or maybe it was an update. I don't know what it was, but something's messed up. But yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay. Thank you for asking. How about what have you been doing, brother? Oh, right, guys. I've just been told. Yeah, you can only hear me, not everybody else. Okay. Shite. Bear with me, guys. I will get this sorted very quickly, I promise. Let me go to audio. Desktop audio. Okay. Apply. Okay. Okay, guys, let's see how this is sounding. Guys, is this better? Can you hear us? No. Bear with me. Fuck. I hate this, dude. Okay. Guys, if I can't get this working, I will have to end the podcast for another time. And I'm so sorry for wasting you guys' time. Let me. It should be working right now because I've literally gone to all of this, and I've fixed it in the settings. No, yeah, when you talk, when my party talks in the Discord, usually it shows up on the desktop audio. But right now nothing is working. I don't know what. Yeah, I think Hassan Askas. Hey up. Wait a minute. Hey up. Desktop audio is up and running. Can the chat speak? Okay. Yeah, I think Hassan Askas. Can the guys? Hey up. Wait a minute. Hey up. Actually, I can't right now. Desktop audio is up and running. Can the chat speak? Okay. Okay. Can you guys? We're sorted. I think we're sorted. Guys, the feedback you're hearing in the video will clear in a second. It's just the PC relaying any audio it's picked up through the video back to me, back to you, back to me, and so on and so forth. But it'll stop. Guys, can you now hear the panel? They can't hear it now, but it's on catch up. There's a delay. Can you hear, guys? You speak in the panel. You guys speak. Okay, I'm gonna turn up the volume now to see if we can hear. Okay, okay. Oh, right, okay. That's coming through my mic. Oh, fuck. Guys, I'm really sorry for wasting all of your time tonight. Safe to say I'm pretty damn devastated about this. I'm going to send my computer back, and I'm going to get a fix because this shit's unacceptable. How it's just deleted everything and scrambled up all my settings over the course of 2 days that my PC has been off. I'm really freaking upset. To be fair, so yeah, I really apologize. Yeah, I'm devastated, really upset about this. It should pick it all up, but it's just not doing. I'm trying to find the cause of the problem, but you see, the issue is what my headphones pick up through Discord should be relayed through OBS to you guys. So it's all desktop audio. Any audio that I can hear, the audience should be able to hear, and that's how it works. Which is why you get feedback if I'm playing a video of us and we're talking. You can then hear through OBS the panel talking again and again and again, because I've heard it and you've heard it for a second time. And that should work, but everything's messed up. My microphone, it sounds tinny as well. I don't know what to do, guys. So we're gonna cut this short, and I'm gonna deeply apologize to all of you, and I promise you guys, none of this fuckery will be happening when I next go live with the panel. It's a real shame because we had so much to discuss. We had Caesar Exposito, special guest. We have OT with a giveaway, but we want to save that giveaway to the right time. We want to do it justice because it's really special, and I can hear the panel, but you guys can't, and I don't know. I want to fix it. I need to fix it. I'm gonna hold on. I'm gonna try one more thing. I'm gonna try one more thing. Okay. I don't want to waste you guys' time though, so I appreciate it. Okay. Yeah, salty does help me out big time. But It'll take time, guys. It'll take time, and I feel like I've already pushed my. I'm listening to it, and it doesn't sound. It doesn't quite sound normal. My voice either. So, sorry, guys. I'm just talking to the panel because they're still with me. Video stream general. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, but it's not taking the desktop audio. Okay, let's. Which it should be because it's streaming and it's showing on my screen. So I don't really know what to do here. Yeah. Yeah, I think this is the issue here. Guys, just keep talking. Can my panel just have a conversation? And if you guys in the chat, if the panel can spare 5 minutes just to have a convo and talk about a few things, and whilst I'm sorting out the audio, and if you guys hang around, if you do hear any voices or you start to hear voices, not in your heads, but actual, I mean the panel voices, if you could let me know, that would be awesome. Yeah, I'm using OBS and Discord. My friend Akira is trying to find a solution as well, guys. So yeah, we need OBS to pick up. Only my Discord, only my microphone is being picked up by YouTube. It's really frustrating. Oh, hang on. Yeah, I'm trying to fix it on OBS. I'm just turning everything onto monitor and output. Hoping this might work. Keep talking, guys. Maybe this will work. Are you guys there? Okay. So, oh, right, guys, I'm going to try one more thing. Alright, I'm going to try one more thing. I'm going to use my Discord on the web instead of the app. Maybe it's an app problem, because that doesn't surprise me. So, if I'm really loud right now, I apologise. But bear with me. Yeah, last issues I had was through the app. So let me just do this one thing. Bear with me. I'm just going to the Discord site. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, guys, it's not working. I'm now in the voice chat with you guys, and it's just not working. So yeah, OBS. Okay, Akira's sending me something, guys, to see if I can fix it. So just bear with me. Yeah. Any, send it me either way. Where's this on the chat, on the group chat? Discord. Okay. Okay, let me check. In general, yeah. Okay, sources. Source. Go to sources, settings. Yeah. Okay. From the list, go start OBS Studio and go to sources. From the list, choose audio output capture settings to select your desktop audio. Okay, sources. The problem is, Akira, the suggestion you gave me, bro. There's no when I go to source, I don't know where sources is because I have a sources window, but the settings button doesn't work. Well, yeah, but there's no actual. I can't find source. Like I know where the sources window is, but there's no option to click on sources to go to audio output capture settings. So create and name your desktop. Okay. Oh, I see what you're telling me to do. Right. Okay. Add to sources, audio output capture. Okay, I get you. Okay. Default use wireless stereo headset. Okay. All right. I think this might have worked. If you guys could just let me know. Yeah. Yeah. Don't know about that. Still can't hear the panel. Okay. Still can't hear the panel. Settings. Yep, only audio capture. Well, the crazy thing is, these default settings, bro, they were never an issue for me to. Yeah. Guys, I'm so sorry. I'm really upset about this. I'm really sorry that you guys just can't hear shit.
Yes.
That really sucks. Really sucks.
Game Pass.
Yeah, guys understand, man. Don't worry, man.
Yeah,
Guys understand.
bro.
I'm grateful to you guys for understanding. I'm sorry to the panel who can hear me, but I'm sorry, guys, you can't hear the panel. But yeah, I'm sorry for this. I wasn't expecting it to be this to happen. It literally completely caught me off guard. So I'm afraid I'm just gonna respect you guys' time and let you enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening. But thank you so much for hanging here. Oh, people hear you. People can hear you. Oh shit!
What?
Whoa,
They can hear us. They can hear us.
Audio's there?
Them. I'm confused, bro. Like.
Okay, people can hear us. People can hear us.
Bro.
You
see, I mentioned Game Pass and it worked. Told you it's the house. They can hear us.
Oh shit!
It's really the Church of Phil.
Oh hallelujah! Oh guys, I could cry. I could honestly cry. I don't ask me what we're watching right now. I've not been thinking about what's playing. I don't have any freaking clue.
It's Amnesia, right?
Something to do
It's
with
Amnesia? No, it's something
KOJIMA.
else.
I'm so glad we're working, guys. Thank you so much for all of you for sticking with me.
Phil broke Hassan's curse.
It was really Game Pass, man. Told you.
Yeah, it was Game Pass. Game Pass fixed it. It's the house of Phil has many abodes, and takes many forms. I know why OT's laughing, because he's a Bible guy and he knows that he was quoting the Bible there.
Game Pass. Game Pass does everything but games.
Yeah. Finally, we can continue. We can continue with this podcast.
There's
That's hilarious. Twisted.
Yeah, it's really the House of Xbox. I mean, the House of Phil. It's supposed to be Phil.
Right.
Game Pass.
What the how did I fix that then? I don't even know how I fixed it. I was just pressing buttons, guys. I was just going into properties, spamming buttons. Now, I do want to know, how is the audio quality? Hilarious. So, how does the panel sound?
Oh, look. It's my hero on the screen. Hideo Kojima.
Yes, sir.
Freaking hero.
Always. We're going to be talking about him tonight.
Kojima.
Let me know, guys.
Kojima Sensei.
Keep me updated. Everybody in the chat, keep me updated how the panel's sounding. If everybody sounds good, then awesome. Who is left? We had someone else, but I don't know.
Karaba, you said. Karaba.
All right, yeah. But I don't think he's in the chat.
Karaba's
So, yeah, I'll drop him. I'll drop him a link when people are talking, because right now I'm just a bit too distracted to get this show on the road.
Bro, don't even start with Aaron, bro. Aaron is Aaron, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, I have no words for Aaron. Like, I just really have no words.
Look, it's Hassan. It's Hassan from 5-6 years ago. This guy right here. He's the same guy. I swear down. He's just an actor. No, but yeah, right. So guys, we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
And hopefully oh right, shit. No.
What happened?
Guys, can you guys keep talking? Okay. Oh yeah, no, everything's
What?
good. Everything's good.
Oh look, it's Karaba, bro. It's Karaba right there.
Oh sweet.
Karaba's in the chat.
Omar's in the chat. Yeah, sorry Omar, I had a technical breakdown with the PC. But I'll send you an invite now, dude. I said I was waiting for confirmation on who could make the podcast, but yeah, we have room, so feel free to jump on. If you don't have my Discord, I'll send you the invite now.
Yo. What the
Twitter.
Aaron, bro.
Karaba, there you are.
Dude.
Check your
Dude, bro.
Twitter.
Dude.
Check your Twitter, Karaba. What's going on?
Oh, Aaron loves to dress up.
I can hear you.
Bro.
I can hear you talking to yourself. What's going on?
No, sorry. I was reading the chat and they're talking about Greenberg loves to dress up as Ori.
That's hilarious. Right, okay.
Look, man. I don't have a problem with people like what Aaron does. It's just sometimes I feel like it's over the top, and that's when I just shake my head when I see that shit. Like, there's got to be some moderation or something.
Yeah.
Gotta be some kind.
So, guys, thank you for sticking with. Pleased to say we've got that nightmare of a technical issue sorted. And now we can get on with the show. And first of all, let's introduce special guest Caesar Exposito. Caesar, tell us about you, man. What is it you do? How come you have this level of technical savvy about you? And what is it about that? Are you a bit of a techie yourself, or?
Yes, I've been working more than 20 years. I started from the lowest position as a help desk, and well, nowadays I'm doing more like a consultant for most of all Windows 10 related subjects, and well,
That's
more
awesome.
or less that's what I do.
So you work with Windows. You're a programmer?
No, now as I said, doing more like a consultant
Okay.
for Windows 10 related subjects, and before that, my specialization is workplace managing workplace environments. So building an image with the Windows operating system from scratch and customizing the image for the customer, and deploying the image, configuring the environment of the desktop of the user, that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
without going too deep in technical things, and more or less is what it's my specialization. Sorry for my English.
No, your English is
Because
good,
as
bro.
you know,
Your English is
I'm from
great.
Spain and
Well,
I'm trying to
hola,
do my best.
lo siento, señor, mi español es limitado. But your English is good. My Spanish is terrible. But no, it's an absolute awesome honor and privilege to have you on the show. It's your first ever podcast, I believe, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Awesome. So, what got you into gaming, my dude? What's your favorite game?
Right now, well, the last one, Ratchet and Clank, obviously, but it's difficult for me to pick up one. I start playing with Spectrum because I'm really old one, and it's difficult to pick up just a one game.
Yeah. No, 100%. I hear you. What would you describe as your favorite game of all time?
Well, I love all the Uncharted saga, for example,
Yeah.
and The Last of Us. Let's say Naughty Dog are one of my best studios. I love the type of games they do.
Yep.
So I would say their games are my first choice always.
Awesome.
I enjoy that. Now I'm playing Tomb Raider, the last one, because as you know, I got hurt my hand. I broke one of the fingers.
Oh.
And I was playing Final Fantasy VII. But I had to stop playing for about 3 weeks. So around those days, that patch for 60 FPS appeared, and it was a game that I have 50% of the game, and I thought maybe finished. But now I finished. I'm just trying to get the rest of the trophies, but I finished the main story, and when I get all of them, I will back to the Final Fantasy VII. Yeah.
How does Tomb Raider compare to Uncharted? Like, I tried to play Tomb Raider 2, to Rise of the Tomb Raider, and I really struggled to play it because the animations were just so janky compared to what I had played previously, which was Uncharted 4. Like, how could you find yourself getting into it, or did you struggle?
Well, it was easy for me, but honestly, it's a cheap version of the Uncharted saga.
Mm-hmm. Like a
Tomb Raider is
equivalent.
yeah.
No, fair enough.
Uncharted is miles away from the technical quality and the story. Everything is miles away from the Tomb Raider.
I don't wanna hate on these developers, who work hard to give us something like Tomb Raider, but I do feel like Uncharted kind of set the bar. Uncharted set the no. I agree. I'm agreeing with you here. Like, Uncharted 4 set the bar so high that it's very difficult because you feel like you're going backwards when you play a game like Tomb Raider, which came out after Uncharted 4. You know, Rise of the Tomb Raider. So it's crazy. It does affect your level of enjoyment. I wish I had played the Tomb Raider trilogy before I played Uncharted 4. Perhaps, I don't know, but.
Did you play Tomb Raider? What's called Shadow of the Tomb Raider?
I've not played that one. No. But
I don't recommend it. I played it and I didn't really enjoy it.
it's sitting idle right now on my PlayStation, and I've still never picked it up. But yeah, great to hear your voice too, Karaba. Let's move on to Karaba. Caesar, it's awesome that you're here. Thank you for joining us on your first ever podcast. No, awesome. So yeah, look forward to getting your thoughts about all the crazy, exciting things that have been happening this last couple of weeks. Karaba, brother, it's been a long time since I've heard your beautiful voice on air, because we've not been on a podcast together for some time. How are you doing, my guy?
Yeah, sup, dude. Thanks for the invite. For some reason, my Twitter missed your shot. Like, I didn't even get it until when I shipped it, and I shipped it the entire time, and I never got your shot beforehand. So my bad about that. Other than that, you still owe me your elbows. Like, I'm never gonna drop that until I get your elbows and silver platter.
I do still owe you my elbows. For those who wonder what the hell is he talking about, I basically said that if Karaba manages to beat Returnal, I would eat my own elbow. And why I doubted that he would beat Returnal is because Karaba has he's Omar Shahab in the chat. Omar Shahab is Karaba. So if you see Omar Shahab in the chat, guys, on YouTube, that's who we have on the panel tonight. He has a 30 hertz television. 30 hertz, right? Proper old television, and he games on that. So he's like really disadvantaged with Returnal, because we all know Returnal's one of the hardest games that's come out in recent memory. You know, it's like playing Doom Eternal on the hardest difficulty, but constantly. That's kind of like the level that we're talking about. And yeah, Returnal's crazy difficult, and imagine that at half the frames, crazy. Well, not only did Omar or Karaba beat Returnal, he beat it in 3 days when I was still struggling in Biome 3. So I don't know what to say, guys. I'm like,
Impressive.
yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. It's like when you said what you said on Salty's show, I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Like, I'm taking this bet right now. And back then, I was still struggling with Biome 3, and mainly because of the drones. Like, they flank you. Like, their sole purpose is to flank you and destroy your every existence. And when you go into a room and there is nothing, and you open a chest, and then out of all of the sudden you got more than 10 to 15 drones, that's a run ender right there.
Yeah.
So I learned to deal with them, and from there on it was smooth sailing. So thanks for the challenge. I really enjoyed that.
No, thank you for still reminding me how much
I will always remind you, dude.
I'm gonna have to get my fiance to bake. Obviously, I'll help, but like we'll have to bake a cake in the shape of my elbows and send them to you. I don't know. That's the only way I can imagine. No, and film me eating one of them and send the other to you. That way, I have technically eaten my own elbow. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But another time, I'm gonna keep kind of deflecting and avoiding that consequence of my bet. That being said, my dudes, we have my esteemed friend and true. I don't know how to explain him other than like teacher. I don't know. He gives takes that not only are so crazy badass, they kind of school you and educate you. At the same time, they result in the people that he usually kind of counsels. He makes them so salty with his wisdom that they end up blocking him. But hey, that is OT for you. He's making a storm on Twitter. He's blown up hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of followers in mere weeks because of his videos. So give it up for OT. OT, how you doing, my guy?
Very, very high.
Oh shit, you're gonna be on fire tonight because it's when you're high that you're at your best, right?
Oh, man, I think I miscalculated whatever I cooked. But I'm good. I think this week I've been playing Final Fantasy 7 Remake and also GT Sport, surprisingly. I think that's because I was inspired by Forza Horizon on Series X. You know, it looks really, really nice. So I started getting that nostalgia to play a driving game again, and then started GT Sport. But Final Fantasy 7, I think I reached a place where I sort of stopped for now.
No, I'm in a similar boat with Final Fantasy. I do struggle with that game. Like, it's the corridor effect, bro. Like,
Exactly.
I'm loving Judgment right now. Crazy enjoying that. I would recommend you give that a try. But yeah, but no, good play, bro. GG. What are you thinking on moving on to? What other game? OT?
Hello?
He's gone. OT, are you there?
Maybe you can
Yeah,
play after the. Yeah, go ahead.
It cut for a bit.
that space cake, bro. It's gone to your head, hasn't it? What are you thinking about picking up a different game to replace Final Fantasy 7?
You know what I've realized? I just want what do you call this? Ghost. Because I've tried to play these games that I played before. Let's say Last of Us, trying to play it again, and I get excited at the beginning, but then it's like I have this need for something new. So I realized I stopped playing all the old games I was playing, and I'm just like, I just need Ghost, and then after that I'll need Kenna or whatever. But I think I've got that itch for a lot of new stuff.
Guys,
Yeah.
like I'm the same as you, OT. Like, for real, I thought I'd be playing and replaying Ratchet and Clank for months, but I had to put it down the moment I beat it. I couldn't platinum it. I couldn't stick at it like fully 100% it. I'm just not that kind of guy. I'm not that kind of gamer. I play a game, I enjoy it, I experience it, I love it. The only game that I could do that with was Metal Gear Solid 4 particularly, and Metal Gear Solid 3. I spent like over 900 hours on MGS3.
Wow.
But yeah,
Wow.
but yeah, no, I'm 100% with you on that. Well, it's great that you're here, OT, mate. I don't know, I'll find a bell or something to ring down my mic if ever you start to snore. I'll try and keep you awake. But won't keep you for much too long, because I appreciate it's later where you are than it is here. It's currently almost 11 o'clock for you in Africa, so in Kenya. So
Actually, here it's I think we're already at it's midnight here.
midnight. So you're 2 hours ahead. Oh shit,
Yeah. I'm 2 hours ahead of you guys.
that's crazy.
Yeah, for me it's the 10:53, so almost 11 o'clock.
Yeah, you're an hour ahead than me, Karaba, and OT's 2 hours ahead. That's crazy. You crazy guy. Right, okay. Let's get the show on the road. Will Helmovsky, it's awesome that you're here, my dude. This is your second time on this podcast because, honestly, you were so awesome the last time we had you. I just had to snatch you up. I was speaking to Akira and I was like, dude, this guy, he's 16 and yet it's like he's he's got 40 years of gaming experience crammed into a 16-year-old body. It's ridiculous. How are you doing? You good?
I'm doing great, man. You can't imagine how honored I feel to be here. It's honestly so incredible. The positive feedback I've got from both the viewers and the panel was honestly quite overwhelming. Like, I've been showering in gold the past weeks due to that, and all I can say
love
to
it.
that is like. All I can say to that is thank you, thank you to both the viewers and of course the panel. Like it's such an incredible feeling, especially to you, Akira. Like I can thank you enough, bro. Like I can thank you enough, bro. Like he gave me the opportunity, like that man. He came up to Wooly and then said a good word for me, and now I'm here.
It's all you, bro. It's all you.
It's all you, dude. I love it. I love it. But yeah, honestly, bro, I'm so grateful that you feel that way about this podcast because it's early days for us. And as all of you have witnessed tonight, technical issues are going to happen. My PC's a bag of shit. I mean, it's a great PC. It's powerful. It's a 3070 with crazy RAM and a crazy powerful CPU, but the software, there's something wrong, and things are crazy right now with my PC, so I feel a bit amateur, to be honest, and not doing you guys justice, but we'll continue to try and improve and progress and improve this podcast. But dude, you are definitely a great addition to this panel. I'm sure everybody in the chat who heard you 2 weeks ago would agree with me. What you brought, you're like a mini Herman Hulst. You even sound like him, for goodness sake. You talk like him. It's crazy. So he does sound like Herman Hulst, doesn't he? He really does.
I swear, I've looked up an interview of Herman Holtz and I was baffled. Like, holy hell, I think I saw myself in like 30 years,
Dude, for real, I listened to an interview of him and I was like, shit, Will sounds just like him. He sounds identical to him. Like, it's crazy. So no, you could actually pretend to be him, like as an imposter. Like, I don't know, upload an anonymous MP3 and say, "Hi, I'm Herman Hulst. We'd just like to let you know some of these 25 games that we are yet to reveal. These are the names." And like, have everybody going crazy. OT, you can stage an interview with Herman Hulst. It's not a therapy. It's more like a review of people that you give in therapy,
No, why I'm laughing is like there's some situations which I've had in Kenya where if you find like you look and sound like the guy, there are some people who found, or let me say some wives that found out that their father has other kids out there. So it's like, in this case, of course it's not that, but where I come from, man, there have been so many of those cases.
Got any relatives in the Netherlands, Will?
The Netherlands, I don't know that. Like, all my relatives I know are either from Bosnia or from Montenegrin,
Yeah. Shout out to Gaming Despair, another panel member. He's in the chat right now. Bro, if you want to jump on, by all means jump on. It's as much your podcast as it is ours. Shout out to him. Shaky, Retro, Family Man Gamer, Curtis, it's great that you're here, buddy. Eddie, 87. Just want to say much love to all you guys. Twisted, Sin, PlayStation Gaming Extremist, The Unknown. You're all awesome. You've all kind of stuck it out, and here's your reward, the podcast. So guys, who have we else got? We got to it. We have to intro Akira. Akira, my dude, how you doing? You good?
Yeah, I'm doing great. I've been playing a lot of Shadow Warriors because I'm just really excited for the third one. It's such a major upgrade. I just need to replay the games again. And I'm kind of lying low on Twitter right now. I'm just posting games after games and after game clips. You've noticed my account, right?
I've seen them, bro. It's crazy. It's so good. Like, you're showing all these awesome games.
Yeah, it's only clips and clips and clips because I kind of like I had this epiphany like from last week where the past couple of weeks I really got into not really fights, but got a lot of I'd call them haters because they were just really attacking my race, and basically I was like I kind of remember like this is not why I play video games. Like
100%.
this is not
Amen, bro.
this is not what my gaming was this is not what my gaming was about. So I just thought I'll just keep on sharing games because that's basically who I am really. I'm just a regular guy who, if I'm not playing games, I'm watching games, or if I'm not watching games, I'm watching breakdowns of games like Future Sound. He makes a lot of Kojima content recently. Futura Sound Productions. So yeah, basically I'm just really laying low because I wanna reignite the fire of why I'm playing games in the first place, because they're kind of like being taken out of context because of all this BS that's happening on my account. And about what you said and UOT regarding a game that you're looking for something new.
Yeah.
I actually realized that a long time ago, which is why I'm so into finding games nobody talks about, because technically if nobody talks about them, they are new for people who's gonna find them or who's gonna hear them. They're going to be
Yeah.
new. And that's exactly
Yeah.
why I'm doing what I'm doing, because it's what reignites the fire. Because I had that problem like last year where I felt like it felt like something's wrong. Like I'm playing games, I'm enjoying it, but it's not the same. Something's something was missing, and then I just realized, yeah, I'm just really looking for something new, which is why I ventured into this, looking for games nobody has heard about, and then China came into the picture, trying to release games after games that really brought my excitement back. And if I'm really looking for my fire, I just replay games that's in my all-time favorite lists, like Legend of Dragoon, God Hand, Vanquish.
I'm just
Because
scrolling. I'm
these
scrolling down your page right
Sorry.
now on Twitter and seeing all this
Yeah.
awesome gameplay that you've posted, bro. I'm sharing it with
Yeah,
everybody.
but
It's dope.
these games is basically I don't play games for the technicalities. Really, I'm more playing the games because I just love the memories I spend with it, and that's what I
Yeah.
try to keep on reminding myself. Because as much as I love going technical on these games and giving criticisms and all that, it's just really not my thing. I'm just a kind of gamer who just cherishes the memories, because without these games, I don't know, my life would feel kind of incomplete, to be honest. So yeah, that's what I've been doing, just really trying to remind myself why I'm gaming in the first place, or what brought me into gaming, and all this Twitter bullshit is not gonna take that away from me. Nobody's gonna take that away from me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's yeah. Yeah. Yeah, a lot. Yeah, a lot. Yeah, yeah. I get it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's ridiculous. Yeah, yeah. Thanks, bro.
Excuse me, Wooly. The people in the chat are saying that they can't hear you.
Holy, something disconnected. I think.
Guys, I'm so sorry. Oh, fuck's sake!
Something
I'm so sorry.
disconnected?
Yeah, I'm back. My mic randomly decided to switch itself off.
Sorry.
I'm so sorry, guys. I was saying to everybody in the chat who couldn't hear me, I was telling Akira that I'm super proud of like who he is and grateful that he's part of the team. And fuck all the haters, man. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Exactly.
that's a shot of it.
There's no hater that can bring me down. I mean, they can try, but it's
Like
not
I'm
happening.
always saying.
I mean,
always saying, man.
they don't.
They try to bring you down, but you're always winning.
We've got
Yeah, bro.
Living under the Sheen code.
I mean, we've got Mini Herman
dealt with
Holtz.
so much
We've got
shit,
Mini
bro.
Herman Holtz, Mini Yoshida. I mean, what more could you ask for on a podcast? You know, it's crazy.
I've dealt with so many challenges in my life, man. This is nothing. Like really, they don't know the experiences that I have, so they can try, but it's not happening. It's just not happening.
100%. So yeah, check out.
I
Akira's-
genuinely.
go on.
I just
Carl.
want to say one thing. I just, not to make light of what's happened to you, but I genuinely was laughing when people were accusing you for not being Japanese. It's like,
Oh yeah.
who the fuck are you to say who is doing? Like, what blows my mind is when people say, you don't do this, you don't do that, you are not this, you are not that. Like, motherfucker, I am the person living in this world. I am me. Who the fuck are you? Do you live with me? Do you know my family? Like, I swear.
Yeah, no, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
Karaba's
really
angry,
funny. Yeah.
bro.
Nah, I'm
No,
not
it's-
angry.
it's
I'm
really-
not. It's mind-boggling that people are
it's,
that entitled to such level that they would think and assume everything that they think is right, and that they know people more than they know their people more than people know their own self. It's just mental.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's actually the funniest insult I've ever seen when I'm accused that I'm not half Japanese. I'm half Japanese, half Filipino, but still, it's very funny because I have no reason to lie about why I'm so.
I have no idea why my gameplay is zoomed in right now. I apologize. I'm currently rectifying the issue. I'm bringing in my screen display capture to capture
the Game Pass guys. Subscribe to Game
someone
Pass.
is messing up with my. They're messing with my podcast, bro. I don't know what's going on, but everything's
subscribe
going
to.
Like it's
subscribe to Game
hostile.
Pass if you need a last resort, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
There.
Custom doesn't want us to talk about Abandoned.
I'm not bashing it. All right. Like subscribe to Game Pass if you need a last resort. That's all I'm gonna tell you. That's yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Now something
it's-
weird.
it's-
Something weird is going on now, guys. Sorry,
it's
you'll
okay.
you'll have to forgive me and bear with me, mate. I'm gonna undo
Nah,
this.
it's all good.
Technical difficulty is normal in a new
Hey, bro.
podcast. It takes a bit before you find your footing.
Yeah, but I've never had these problems. It's literally just tonight. I've literally this whole time I've been like my podcasts have been solid. They've been smooth. Had very few minor hiccups, but tonight everything's going wrong. Like everything.
By the way, OT, you're still there.
Yep. Yeah, I'm here.
There's this funny thing that I've been seeing because regarding Abandoned, like I see the Xbox fanboys laughing about PlayStation fans waiting for Abandoned and all that and believing Abandoned basically, and it's hilarious for me because for one whole year they were believing every rumor that was coming out.
Yeah,
about Xbox. They were,
yeah.
they were believing every damn rumor that came out, and like I don't know, not even half of them were true. So it's
Remember
just
Yeah.
when what's called?
really funny.
Remember that rumor about Microsoft tag teaming with Nintendo for Game Pass on Nintendo
Yeah,
and all that
yeah,
stuff. Xbox,
I remember.
Kojima Xbox game reveal, all that nonsense during that E3. It's
Bro,
insane.
Nintendo was the most hilarious for me when I first read that, and because I know Nintendo from Japan, I know Nintendo how big they are, how gigantic they are. When I first read that, I was laughing my ass off. I was like, there is no way, there is no way, there is no way that that's gonna happen because Nintendo doesn't need anyone. They don't
But I
need
wouldn't be surprised. I
PlayStation.
would
Yeah.
like I
No,
wouldn't be
no, bro.
surprised if like Microsoft offered that because like I remember reading when they offered Nintendo
Yeah,
to get bought by them.
yeah,
Yeah,
no.
but I don't think Nintendo even cares
Nintendo,
about Microsoft.
Nintendo don't need
Yeah.
anyone. They don't. They only need themselves. They've been standing for 130 years. They don't need anybody. They
I
are
know,
they
but
are rich enough on their own. It's not gonna happen. I mean, Nintendo only does what it's for Nintendo. If it benefits another company, they're not gonna do it. It only needs to benefit Nintendo alone.
Uh,
So, guys, I just want to just mention I've just switched to the thumbnail screen of the yo Gaming Despair. What's good, brother? No worries, brother. No worries. Yeah, just whenever you can, you're always welcome, bro. Dip in and out whenever you're free. But it's great that you're here, Gaming Despair, bro. Thanks for being here. Just to let you guys know, we have a thumbnail up, and I just wanted to make sure the audio still works when the thumbnail is up. So if you guys could just let me know if the thumbnail is still if everything's good, if the everything's good. No, to be honest, guys, I've just realised that the desktop audio doesn't work when the thumbnail's up, so they can't hear you, Akira. So no, so it's not the thumbnail that's messing with the stream. That's just another thing that I need to fix and rectify. So we'll get that
Yeah,
fixed.
you just bring it back to the screen when it was working.
Yeah.
Then we'll figure it out from there.
Yeah, we'll fix it.
I mean, we know the we know the topics. Oh God, screwdriver topic. Jesus Christ.
So let's talk
Yeah,
about this.
I thought-
Let's move into this, guys. So we're in a situation,
The
right,
screwdriver.
where
Oh,
it's not even just the screwdriver. It's the freaking how
Bro.
to turn on the
Turn,
PS5.
turn on your
Turn
PlayStation,
it
huh?
off,
I
you
thought
know?
we moved on.
Yeah.
Oh my God, no. Not turning off PS5. Oh God.
So guys, I'm gonna give you guys.
I never under
Go on, Oti.
Okay.
Sorry, go on, Will.
no. I never understood. Like I understood, the whole topic around the SSD, but I never really got the one where you couldn't turn off the PS5. Like, what's going on there? Like,
Yeah. So
I don't know. Look, I don't know if it was I don't know if it was a joke or he was serious because
Oh, he
it's
was
just
dead serious. Like,
it's really
he's a clown through and through. I have had multiple runs with him. He even admitted on Twitter that not only doesn't he finish his games, he reviews them without even finishing them.
Oh yeah, this dude, yeah, it's Ramadeath, Tony, which is hilarious because he had this article before where he said that reviewers are supposed to finish the games before they
Yeah.
review them, and then he kind of changed his stance after 4 years or so. So I don't know what's that about, but now on topic about PS5 too difficult. I don't know what the hell this is. I really, look, man, look. We've all been gaming, from the PS1 era, right? Everybody
find
reached the PS1 era, right? I think except Wilhelm, but almost all of us reached the PS1 era, right? And I don't remember. I just don't remember this kind of problem where a PlayStation was too hard to operate. I really don't. I just don't remember that. Not even Xbox had a problem about being how to operate, because if a person can operate a damn phone, can as well operate a console. There is no way that you cannot operate a console and can operate a phone. It's just not. That's just not how it works. Look, I always refuse to believe that an individual can be this stupid. I really refuse. I really do my hardest to have
Let me
faith in
let me let me
humanity
play
that
let me play devil's advocate.
uh,
What was the guy's name? Was it Tony?
It's Tony
Tony
Palaco,
Polanco.
Yeah, Blanco.
Tony
Yeah, I think
Polanco.
I think he just simply had a bad choice of words. Like he shouldn't have said that trying to get the off button is difficult, because it really isn't. But he could have said something like, maybe after all these months, I still don't feel it's as intuitive as I would have liked. So if he said that, then I would compare it to the PS4 user interface, where I felt the PS4 user interface was a bit more friendly for me, like in terms of where I want to go. So I can use the PS5 one very well, but I feel I need to think more than when I had the PS4. And it's simply maybe because there's so many more features on the PS5 version. So it's not that I wouldn't say it's an insult to Sony, but I would say it would be like, because Sony has been very ambitious with what their user interface has. So it may take them a bit of time to finally get to a place where because we are millions of us who have our own preferences, where we will all now look at it and say, yeah, this generally is right. So I think there would be something positive to say about the user interface being a bit more difficult to use, but I think he was taking it so negatively that it lost the point.
This
My
is
my main issue with it was Tony got a PS5 way earlier than any of us, or than any of you who owns a PS5 right now, basically.
mhm,
So technically, I don't know how many months that is in general, but he almost reached a year with that damn
Yeah.
console. And
mhm.
to not know where the hell a power button is with almost a year of having that console, I cannot imagine it. Like can you imagine you have a phone and you still cannot figure out how to turn it off after 9 months?
Well, let me speak on behalf of the people
It
who get
sounds
high.
that ridiculous to me.
Like,
Yeah.
I'll just say, like, when I get high
Yeah.
and I'm playing games, the PS5 user interface is not the smoothest. So that's how I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like,
Alright, yeah.
okay, it's like I find it fine. It's
Yeah.
totally fine. But I think like for someone who's gonna be switching between Xbox, Switch, PS5, and I'm just playing devil's advocate too, because I
Yeah.
genuinely think he just used the wrong phrase. But I'm only
No,
playing on the PS5.
I need
Wait,
to.
one sec. Go ahead. Sorry. Finish it.
I just need to tell you one thing to cut you off here for one reason. He is
Yeah.
known for his horrible takes. This is
Oh yeah,
not
he does.
a
He does have some.
one-off. So it's
No,
not like
yeah,
he just used some wrong wording. No, he knew exactly what he was doing. This is one of his many horrible takes. But continue.
that's also
Yeah,
another
You just
point.
say he's naturally stupid.
It's
Sure,
But I do hear where OT's coming from, though. I think
No,
OT's
OT
being pretty
broke it down
reasonable here.
properly.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
we
broke it down
can't.
properly.
I mean, come on, guys, we can't. In all seriousness, here, be adults and sit here as adults and really genuinely think Tony doesn't know how to turn off his PS5. Of course he does. So no, I do hit. But I guess I agree with the point that you're making, Karaba, is that he should know better to kind of imply that he doesn't have a clue when he clearly does. I mean, literally you hold down the PS button and it's at the top right. It'll turn off. So,
OT nailed it. Where it's really worded in the most negative way possible. It's you can say the same. You can say the same statement if it's really a genuine statement.
Yeah.
In a proper way. But this one is really worded in the most
And
negative way
and
possible.
why it's very negative is he chose something that is extremely easy to do. Going
This is
pressing the
why.
off button easy, but he could have said something else where it would be like, yeah, okay, maybe that one's a bit challenging, but he chose the easiest one. So yeah, it's true. Maybe he is doing it on purpose and he's being
Yeah,
malicious.
he's doing it on purpose because it gets attention. Like for me, really, like nowadays, for me, journalism is really dying, and there's only one journalist I really read nowadays. It's only Gene Park.
Gene.
He's the only one. He's the only one I read because for me, Gene uses proper words. He chooses his words properly. Not negative, not too positive. Maybe more on the neutral side of things. He's really trying his best to keep it professional, even though sometimes he cannot either hide his bias or hide his hype. For example, when he's too excited for a game or for Kojima, for example. But at least he tries to to really tone
And he
that
follows
down
it.
and choose his words. And basically, I just enjoy whenever I read his articles because I actually learn something. I learn things from him. But when I read others, I try it like 1 minute, then no, I'm not reading.
Well,
this,
I think a lot of
a
a lot of journalists fall into the realm of content creator turn, like as in they're not really journalists. They're not professionals. They're more like personalities. And
YouTubers.
OT's had a run in with a few run-ins, and so have I with what's his name now? Destin. And shout out to him. At the end of the day, you can't hate Destin because he's not a nasty person. He's quite a charismatic guy, but bloody hell does he do some takes, and it's all geared with a biased negative slant towards PlayStation. I mean, the last video I watched, he called content fees, additional fees.
Yeah.
He said that he called DLC an additional fee. I'm like, it's additional content. I mean, I'm sorry. Do you not expect to pay for content? Is this where we're at now? Are you so up?
He talks like.
Are you so up Game Pass's backside that you no longer see content and games and all the things that come with that as having actual value that needs to cost you, the consumer? You're just entitled to it, and I just think there's a fine line that people have way crossed, and now it's getting to the point of disrespectful towards devs, because they're literally calling their year's work, their year's labor of love, a fee. And where was this energy with Gears of War?
MS Flight Simulator,
yeah,
maybe?
the Gears of War 3-hour DLC, or the Flight Simulator's 180 quid full package, not including all the mods that are on sale for 10 quid. So
yeah, he was great. It was mad quiet.
Whereas, and there's not that energy. And at the end of the day, guys, I've come to accept this basic fact, right? You cannot vouch for Microsoft without the agenda or hope that they will one day start paying you as a Microsoft-focused influencer, because they do that. It's American. It's American business culture. American business culture is very different to Japanese business culture and to other types of business culture. American business culture is very much, hey, we like you. We'll scratch your back if you scratch ours, right? And that's what they kind of do with these YouTubers, these content creators. They're paid promoters, but they go under this guise of, hey, I'm a content creator. This is my opinion, but actually they can't be. It may be their opinion, but God forbid they would ever voice criticisms, because if these guys are being paid, or if these guys are hoping to one day land the big time like Paris has. Because Paris is a perfect example, right? And I'm not shaming. Good for him. I'm not shaming these guys. Good for him. But you can't.
I am.
I'll just finish this point, bro. You
Yeah,
can't.
my bad. Go ahead.
You can't right now be Paris, and you can't right now be that guy and criticize or call out Xbox on anything negative because he's being paid. They are his boss. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's my biggest issue with all of this. One, there is a big divide between gamers and game journalists. We all know that. However, the problem is game journalists are not even trying to fix the fracture that has happened. The second thing is, you just said that you can't hate on Paris for doing what he did, but I actually can't for one simple reason. He is spreading misinformation and prioritizing one company over another. Like if he was just
he's
pro
allowed to.
Xbox, sorry.
He's allowed to. He's allowed to have a preference, but
He
you
is,
can't take
that's
his
what I was about
preference
to say.
seriously, can you? You can't take his preference seriously.
Yes.
That's what I'm about to say. If he was just pro Xbox, I would have had absolutely no issue with it. But when you call out PlayStation on one thing and then at the same second tweet you give props to Microsoft for that same exact same thing, then you by definition you're a fraud. Because then you're no longer neutral, you're mad biased. Like it's okay to be mad biased. If you wanna be mad biased, be mad biased. But at least acknowledge that. Don't pretend to be for the gamers. Don't pretend to be. I'm all about the gaming, dude. I remember when he called out one person that said Horizon Zero Dawn is never going to PC, and he was like, "Why are you guys mad that a game is going to PC exclusive or anti-consumers?" Something in that realm, yeah. And then when Microsoft acquired their own exclusive, he is like, "You can't hate them for that. That's just how business is." It's like you then, by definition, you just lose every credibility in the world. You're gonna get called out, and he's gonna block you because of the pussy. But there's that.
Well, let me just add. Okay, I think Destin, the problem I have with him is the pretense. Like he has said, I'll say that the pretense. You see, like guys like Paris.
Yeah.
If I was to be very honest with you, when Paris posts his things where he's promoting Game Pass, okay, sometimes they seem so misplaced. Like, hey, it's like, wow, the conversation just went to Game Pass out of nowhere, which may make someone think, was he paid to just try and force Game Pass into a conversation? But the way he does it, fine, maybe I might find it irritating, but other than that, he's not trying to put PlayStation down to promote Game Pass in general. So for me, someone like Paris is okay because it's okay to promote Game Pass, and I have no problem with Game Pass. But when you get someone like Destin, who maybe let's assume he is being paid, he's chosen the route of let me put PlayStation down to promote Game Pass or Xbox. So he's now being very deceptive, very malicious, and that's the part I really do not like about his approach.
But with
other people
all
are
due
paid.
respect, did you just not hear when I literally just said that Paris was lying through teeth and put down PlayStation while at the same time glorifying Xbox?
Yeah.
Okay, in
here's
general,
my
I haven't really
advice.
seen Paris do something that I was so pissed off with.
I
to the
literally
likes of
just
Justin.
explained to you how he criticized PlayStation for having exclusive and at the same time
Yeah, there was
welcomed Xbox
a time
exclusive
there was a
and promoted
significant
that.
yeah, but Karaba, there was a significant 4-year gap between those two tweets that you're talking about, which You could argue opinions change. Now, I call bullshit. I just think he was just trying to hit the big time, which he has. That was his goal. Right?
I think.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. No. For me, Karaba. I really understand Karaba. Like this is how I look at things like this. If I sense a bias from someone pretending to be for the gamers, I just cannot take it seriously. I just can't. I'm not even gonna comment. I'm not gonna do anything. I cannot take it seriously. It doesn't exist for me. For example, guys like Paris or Tony or maybe also Destin, or whenever they make this comment that they're for the gamers, that I love video games and I love this and that and I love all platforms, it's just something that I cannot take seriously because I can sense and I can see clearly that there is a bias, and I'd rather take someone who embraces that bias instead of someone who's pretending to not have a bias, but at the same time you can see that they have a bias. This is something that I have an issue with because I have, I always said I have a bullshit radar. And when I sense bullshit, I'm not going to take it seriously. And when somebody tries to tell me, this is like a politician, I'm going to do this for you, and then when they get elected, they're not going to do it for you. And it's the exact same thing. I'm from the gamers, but when you see the other tweets, it's clearly there's a bias and clearly just something that, that there's a preference, but they're still going to push that they don't have a preference. And I really, really, it's really a pet peeve of mine because that's so dishonest in my opinion. It just feels, it just looks fake. It looks so dishonest.
Just
I
look
cannot
at the screenshot.
trust.
Look at the screenshot that I'm showing in the gameplay. It'll pop up in a sec for you if it's on a delay. But this is literally like a commercial. He's holding his Xbox controller in front of the camera with Forza Horizon 5 being played on YouTube in 4K.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why show the controller? You're not playing the game. You're watching a YouTube video. But no, here's my Xbox controller because I'm watching this on my Xbox Series X. It's product placement.
Yeah.
I mean, if this isn't fishy as fuck, I don't know what is. But we could go on all day, guys, about these journalists. I guess we got nailed down on the fact that if you're a journalist but you're being paid you cannot by a certain corporation, or you're trying to get in with the big bucks by a certain corporation, as other journalists have successfully done, there is no way on earth you are going to be unbiasedly, unapologetically neutral and critique that company who's paying you.
I have a hot take actually for everybody in the world. Everybody has a preference. Everybody has a bias. Everybody. There is no exceptions. Everybody has a bias. It's either you're honest that you have a bias while respecting the others, or you pretend that you don't have, but you still disrespect the others.
Yep.
And this is what I mean by you can love all your platforms. That's not a problem. But if you have a bias and you show that or you embrace that, because if you're just gonna tell me you love all platforms, you own all platforms, but then I see you clearly that you have a bias, then that's just dishonest to me, and I cannot take you seriously if you do that.
Facts.
I can respect video games in every platform, yes, but I am biased to PlayStation because that's where I game and that's where I grew up on. Yeah. And you will clearly see on my Twitter that I am biased to PlayStation because I tweet more about PlayStation, I praise PlayStation more, I criticize PlayStation less because I'm just biased to them. Yeah. And I embrace that shit. I don't even hide that.
We've got a lot of criticisms about PlayStation tonight to get through, but these criticisms are more kind of curiosities, and we do need answers to a degree. But as we know, guys, we're going through a time period of a bit of a drought when it comes to Sony responding to or giving us things to see, learn. There are 25 plus games unannounced. We don't know what they are. We have no clue. Sony are keeping a tight lip on these things. And, we do hear about delays. We hear about game delays, no problem, So what's kind of going on in the world of Sony? Why has there been, such a long period of time with very little information. And do you guys think this has to do with Abandoned? Has Sony got something in the works for us? Will it go on for much longer? I'm optimistic. I'm not gonna lie, and some people might just call me a sucker for that, but I don't think they're stupid. And it would be stupid if they really think that they are giving us at the moment in terms of information and things to be excited for is enough. They'd be stupid, and I don't think they're stupid. So, what do you guys think? I'd like to hear Caesar Exposito's take. My brother Caesar, what's your thoughts on this? Do you think Sony are keeping things hidden for a upcoming event, or will they reveal anything soon? What's your opinion?
Of course, they have to have something. And abandon apart, all the abandon thing apart, aside, they have to have something. But maybe they're waiting for the right time to show.
Yeah.
But for sure, they have something.
Yeah, I agree. What do you guys think? OT, do you have anything to...
Wait, Wilhelm.
Sorry, Wilhelm.
Yeah.
Did you have a thought?
Well, about that, I definitely think they have something, but when you brought that thing up, I had to think about what OT said the last episode. When we were speculating about Horizon and God of War Ragnarok being delayed, and what the reasoning behind that was. And then OT said something that still was stuck in my mind, still to this day, was that they're basically saving up their shots, saving up their ammo, because at that time, that there's like no competition, there's like no backfire coming from like anyone, they're like waiting for the perfect time, for the perfect place to actually shoot their shots. So I think it's more, of a strategic choice to not reveal those games, just now. I don't think it has to do anything with Abandoned. I just think that they're like waiting till the battlefield gets a little louder so they can have something to fire back.
I think so, because okay, the problem with Abandon, I won't lie, I find the marketing strategy to be horrific, because they have wasted my time. I wish the only way for me to see this as any redemption is if the game was actually always playable, and it was just a puzzle for us to figure out how to make it work. And the first time we failed, so he gives us a second chance. Second time we fail, then third he shows us what we missed, and then we're like, oh my god, I could have been playing this whole time. That might blow my mind. But if it's just simply delays, then these guys have managed to piss me off. But the problem is also too many important people are still paying this thing attention. Shuhei. So it confuses you. And when you're a fan of Kojima, you'll find yourself going to crazy lengths to... I've failed to delete that demo from my PS5. That's just telling you. And yet I'm so frustrated. So I still think the marketing strategies for Abandon is not the best. But hopefully there's something to it.
Hey guys, I was listening to you guys the whole time. I don't know if you can hear me. I'm doing it on my phone, getting ready. I'm driving to work right now. And you guys were talking about the whole Abandoned thing, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, all right. So, I mean, shout out to my dude, King Thrash, man. He made a great video about what he thinks about it, too. Like, the thing is that King Thrash, not King Thrash, I'm sorry. Kojima himself does things completely different. So, I'm personally thinking that this is going to be some kind of Kojima game that's being partnered with something else, because he doesn't do things conventionally. And I'm thinking that it could be probably Silent Hills or some Metal Gear game, because like I said, he does things unconventionally. So That's personally my take on it. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised because like all this conspiracy stuff, like when you start adding it up, it kind of makes sense. So I don't know. That's just my take on it.
Can I add something to it?
Go for it.
My take on Abandoned, like Abandoned is like something that has like caught my attention ever since it was there, because it's so fascinating to me, because like Hassan and the studio, they like came out of thin air seemingly, and then like suddenly they're working on a game, and already they're coming KOJIMA rumors about it being like MGS related or Silent Hill related, and ever since that I've been theorizing and speculating, and then there's like a theory. That's like that theory I came up. It's like the most bad shit, kind of impossible, like kind of scenario I've painted out of my head, but it's like something I still see likeliness in it. Like I don't know if I was like literally an insane man when I blew that thing up. Like I was literally insane when thinking about it, but I think there's still some likeliness to it. It's probably more of a wishful dream, if you will, but still I see likeliness in it. My theory being, if Kojima is actually involved in that all, if Kojima's, if the rumors are true, Kojima and Hassan are working all that together, then my theory is that they're playing at The Great Gatsby on us, because that entire situation just reminded me of The Great Gatsby, Gatsby also being a man. In the book, no one knew him. There were only rumors about him. There were only speculations of who that man is and who that man was. Something similarly we have here. Hassan being Gatsby, and Blue Box being the big house he throws all the parties in, No one knows anything. People only speculating. People only throwing rumors in there. And like, what if that all is intentional? Like, what if that all is intentional to create kind of like a Great Gatsby, a Gatsby for us? We're all in that book. Hassan's Gatsby. He throws all the parties. And what if Kojima is the writer of that Gatsby story we're all a part of?
Did Gatsby ever delete shitloads of his work?
Hey, by the way,
Can I say?
Wooly, hey, you guys don't hear too much feedback on my phone, because if not, I'll just mute myself.
So far, bro, we think it's okay.
I
It's okay.
Oh, go ahead, Ivan.
Oh no, I'm good. I was just saying too. Plus, there was also like suspicion too. How they Blue Box, and you think about it, Blue Box and Blue Point. I mean, who knows? It could be like some kind of merging thing. But shit, what was I gonna say? Sorry, some guy was cut me off. It was kind of crazy too how Blue Box ended up taking down their Instagram. I think it was their website as well, or some other stuff. So like, it's something to think about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, here is my thing with this. And mind you, this comes, and what I'm about to say, people are gonna chun me. Just like Salty, I never played any Metal Gear Solid game in my life. I played the demo, and that's about it. I played Metal
Oh,
Gear.
you're not the only one, bro. I actually have the collection for PS3.
Yeah.
And everything else. I've never played a Metal Gear game, and I've actually been dying to try them out like recently. Sorry to cut you off, bro.
No problem. I played what's called Metal Gear Rising, and I enjoyed it. I played the demo
What's that drop sound we're hearing?
Yeah, my bad. I'm muting it right now. That's my telephone. Sorry about that.
The phone, yeah.
Shit. Mute? Yeah, muted.
Sounds like.
What the hell? It's still coming.
No, that was me. That's me doing it with my mouth.
I was wondering, what the fuck, is it me again? Oh no, not you, eh?
Yeah, I was just doing that with my mouth. Sorry.
I thought it was my phone. Okay.
Yeah, it was your phone. It was your phone, but then I tried to trick you to make you think it was still your phone.
So here is the thing with Kojima. I love Death Stranding, and from what I have understand, and which I listened to Clean Thrash, I listened to you on the show, how there are so many coincidences, and how he tried to get one on the gamers, but failed because that what's called that studio was created recent, and it became suspicious. So if you're a person like Kojima, you know you shit, you know you failed last time, then you wanna do it right then. First off, you guys said it on Salty Show. No one is losing money.
Well,
People are losing time, but that's their own choice to deciding to believe it or not. Not only that, we live in an era where we complain, and I'm not saying we, you and me, but the people in general complain about how everything is mundane, everything is the same. There are no surprises. Yet when someone is actually working on surprises or start to create a different game than normal, then people shun him or shun her for it. Take him quite Death Stranding. People are like, we need something different, we need something different. Kojima gives them something different. We hate something different, we need something normal. That's
so
literally the same thing with what's called Abandoned. Like, I don't believe, I can't even fathom for my life for seeing Sony, PlayStation, put their brand behind a game or a company like Blue Box Studio without knowing fully the gist of it.
yeah,
But
exactly.
they,
This is a similar point to what a dude on Twitter. I don't think I follow him, but he's called Clam, and I saw a post that he put up of this. This is a big list of all the scams, I say in quotes, that Blue Box has performed, where they've not released a single one of their games. They've kind of, I don't know, always bailed on their projects and given it to other people and took the money and ran. At least that's how it appears. But my point,
money? How much money did they make?
well, apparently they did a fundraiser which they cancelled and later on. But I just wanna point out, there's no freaking way that Sony would have taken these guys on, put them on the PlayStation Store, released an app which has never been done before on the PlayStation Store, without knowing exactly who they are. Also, Yoshida, who's like a president of indie titles, he's like the main director of the indie department at PlayStation. He claims, and there's two things. He could either be lying or telling the truth. If he's telling the truth, then it even proves even more this is a lot bigger than we think, because he claims he has no idea who Hassan is, who Blue Box are, right? He has no idea.
What's his name? Cory Barlog is.
Yeah. Now, if that's the case, guys, then this is way bigger than an indie game. But they claim to be an indie developer. So because he would know them, inside out. So this is a big kept secret that Sony are put in on, and they have to be in on, because they would have denounced this studio with all of this shit that I'm pointing out to you here. All of this shit that they've done. It's got to be.
Go ahead, sorry.
It's got to be Kojima. Go on.
So my stance with
sorry, dude, I don't mean to cut you off, brother, but I totally agree with you, Wooly. But hey, guys, I just got to work, so if I have some free time, I'll jump on if you guys are still on. Okay.
Awesome.
Good luck with your work.
All right, man. Take care, guys.
Take care.
Take care.
Bye.
So yeah, about Blue Box, I have a like I said, the thing with Blue Box is every time I want to drop it, something lines up perfectly, and then it pulls me back basically. So I have I have reasons to believe that it really can be something, because like I said, all these evidences, that picture right there, it just baffles me how Sony would take them on after a track record like that. So that's suspicious. And I also found it suspicious how Geoff Keighley keep on lingering around this game? I just really, I just really find that strange that whenever I see PlayStation,
Oh, they're all on it
post about
with their little winks,
post about
and sly faces and
yeah,
embarrassed emojis. Like they all know.
post about yeah, post about abandoned, and I keep on seeing him,
Yeah.
and now
Abandon
you see
your
the
schedule.
plans. Yeah, the Gamescom trailer. You see that abandon your plans. He could have used any word in the freaking dictionary, but he chose abandon. So, okay, you can say cancel your plans, right? I mean, that's how you normally say it. And one more thing is the way he said hi to Kojima recently, the one with the 2 exclamation points. Remember that? Kojima posted something and he said hi with 2 exclamation points. So if you put them together, it looks like hill. So that's
Wow.
also so weird. Yeah, you didn't see that? It's really weird. I really
The
find
entire
it so weird.
situation, the entire
And
situation is so weird, man.
and
Like-
and the last thing that the last thing that was weird for me is when I saw the abandoned teaser, I just cannot get it out of my head. The protagonist clothes looks like the first protagonist. I mean Silent Hill 1 protagonist.
James Sunderland.
No, that's part 2.
You
James Sunderland's
know,
part 2.
you know what truly made me quote unquote a believer of that this is much bigger than an indie game. I think it was you, Wooly, on Sati podcast was talking about how there was a number very famous in Silent Hill 1000 or something like that, 1001, and Hassan trophy level is 1001
Yeah,
or something like that.
So basically, the there's the Silent Hill trailer dropped on YouTube commercial TV, and the number of that Silent Hill 4 trailer, as in TV commercial number such and such and such a number, I think it was 1194 or something like that. He that I'm just making numbers up there. I really don't remember the number.
Yeah,
but that number is the exact same trophy count that Hassan has.
Like you can't control that.
But there's
Like,
so many
you
more
need-
of those perfect coincidences, bro. It's like it's crazy as fuck. It's like the Egyptian pyramid, for goodness sake. It literally is getting to that point now where we're like, okay, this is going into Uncanny Valley. Like, to give you an example, you know, the height of the Egyptian pyramid, if you climb it by 10 feet, if you walk 10 feet up it, you rise in altitude by 9 feet. Now, if you times in meters the distance of the Earth to the Sun by 10 to the power of 9, you get in cubits or something like that the exact height of the Egyptian pyramid. And it's shit like that. Yeah, it's weird coincidences that are impossible without weird kind of super intelligent. Now I'm not saying Kojima's at that level, nowhere near, but he's getting there. He's getting into that uncanny territory where like all this shit is adding up, and it's too weird to ignore. You can't ignore this crazy stuff that's happening. Like Kojima is also with this. First of all, I want to get Caesar Exposito's view on this, because Caesar kind of dropped me a few links to show Kojima was doing this countdown. And
yeah,
go on, mate.
yeah. Well, there's an article from I don't remember who right now. I'm looking for it.
Yeah.
I share to you. From Dual Shockers. To talk about some sort of countdown on all the Kojima tweets related to some soundtracks, and the first was I think was on 10th of August, and the time of the tweet was with the time that appeared on they say a mobile phone, but it's not a mobile phone. It's like an MP3 player or something like that from Sony. And the time that in the first tweet says 9:54. The second one, the next day it's 8:54 again.
Then it's 6:54.
Yeah.
But he skipped today, didn't he?
He skipped one day. Yeah.
He skipped 2 days actually. Skipped 2 days actually.
Today, yeah.
It's weird, like it's like a countdown, and then what you're left with when you reach 0 is what if he's double bluffing and nothing happens? Well, you've still got the 5 and the 4, right, which makes 9. You add 9 days to the date that we were expecting, the 19th, where this countdown reaches 0, and you get the 28th. And isn't that falling into the territory of Gamescom? Like, maybe?
PS5.
But I mean, this is getting silly, guys. I mean, look at what we're doing. We're doing maths over a guy's mobile phone. But this is Kojima. This is what he does.
The only thing for me about Gamescom right now is that they delayed. I mean, they gave a teaser for Abandon, then they delayed it again for the full reveal, and somehow I think it's kind of lining up to Gamescom.
Yeah.
And I'm just really wondering why.
But I will say this: do you think, quote unquote, what's his name, Hassan, is genuinely that much capable of having 1,000 something trophy and being such on the down low for no one to ever have heard of him? Like, you genuinely need someone like Mark Cerny, or I don't know who controls the trophies stuff. You genuinely need someone in the higher up.
I think,
I can see this being planned between Kojima, Hassan, quote unquote, he is a middleman, and what's his name? Herman Host.
Yeah.
Like, Herman Host is buddies with Kojima. Even Sean and
I think Kojima will be using his Netherlands studio as well as his Japan studio. He'll be using and they'll probably have other studios in the Netherlands area working on different projects as well. I know Sony have quite a few connections to Netherlands, not just Kojima. There's a few more, and I can't quite.
Yeah, they have Nixes are from there also.
They have Nixes, they just bought
and other parties too. But I think this whole blue box is a collaboration between Bluepoint, Kojima, Konami, and Sony. Like there's something big and weird going on. And the biggest evidence out of all of these little coincidences, guys, the biggest evidence is Sony's silence. The biggest evidence is Sony's silence, without a doubt, because there is no way they would have let this corrupt indie dev extortioner kind of that robs people jump in and put a freaking app on the PlayStation Store. No way.
No, because as Oti was saying, the marketing is awful. You cannot deceive people, and they are deceiving people with all the things they are doing.
100%. They didn't deceive people. They never made any person lose money. That's all about it.
No, but the marketing. But one of the first rules in marketing is you don't have to deceive people. If you say to the people this day at this hour, and you keep the people waiting and waiting and waiting, you are deceiving people.
Yeah.
Like, but at the same time, it may deceive people, but it does work in a certain way because people are still paying attention to it. Like, it's still like pretty much every time I scroll on my timeline, like center of search.
I'd like to.
I'm not saying that it's not working, but from the marketing point of view, it's
yeah. I
agree.
Guys, let's hear what OT has to say, because I've heard OT.
Yeah. I agree. There's something like I do appreciate the mystery of what they're doing. They've created that mystery, which is very hard for you to ignore. Even if you delete it, you'll think of it. But at the same time, I feel like they should have handled it in an intelligent way, where there are some PlayStation fans who waited 4 hours. That's 4 hours wasted. So out of respect for the working class, the guy who has to skip lunch to go and watch this thing and then doesn't eat lunch or whatever, just like I feel they disrespected our
There's a lack
time.
of class in that. Yeah, I agree.
Yes,
I agree.
yeah, that's
100%.
my issue. But I appreciate the mystery, but I think they handled it poorly. And I even said that Sony should abandon any further type of thing that makes us feel like, okay, now you're taking us for granted. So now it wasn't Sony, it was this Hassan guy. But because of how many people from Sony are silent, it makes you feel like, hey, Sony, you should be saying something about this,
Yeah.
but they're silent. So
it's
it
weird
just
that
comes off of
whenever they do allude to their acknowledgement of abandoned even being a thing and existing, it's usually with a wink or a smirk or a cheeky oops
Yes.
or an embarrassed emoji. Like there's an air of like excitement in the way that they talk about it, and then they go deadpan. But you can just see straight through it, bro. But yeah, I 100% agree with your take that it should have a bit more class about the troll, like in how it treats people who, like you said, you left your missus in bed to go on this app, and and not I know you're a very principled man, brother. You don't normally do that kind of thing. So, so at the same time, he did give us something. He gave us music and audio. And that's a little extra that wasn't there in the previous trailer, right? It was added, and there are maybe hints in that because people say that they can hear a voice and a door opening, and the music has almost a mixture of The Last of Us and Silent Hills blended together. I don't know. I've got the trailer here. We could give it a quick listen.
Sorry, about Sony being silent, yeah, that feels strange, to be honest. I don't know what to think about it. I cannot deny that they are really very silent, especially at a time like this where normally it should be gaming announcement season. Like every year normally this is like the era of the year where you get game news after game news after game news. It's the era where people wait for games to be announced or updates or anything like that. And Sony's been dead silent. They're not even gonna attend Gamescom. That was such a surprise for me. When I saw that,
PlayStation is hit with a lot of COVID-related issues, and I think look what happened. We might have, it's not confirmed yet. That's why I said it might. We might have Horizon delay. We already had God of War delay. We got Gran Turismo delay.
But also remember Herman Hulse's interviews and Jim Ryan's. They're very optimistic. If they were hit a lot more heavily than they let on, that there wouldn't be that air of excitement and positivity that they have in these interviews, in my opinion. He bragged about 25 plus games that we don't know about. These could be anything, guys. These games could be anything. They could be a Soul Reaver. Remember that Blue Point tweet that was really mysterious? I don't know if I can find it.
It's the Halloween.
It's
the Halloween
tweet.
What's called Akira favorite game of all time.
Here it is.
I will never.
I've got it up. Here we go. You ready?
I will never forget that tweet. I will never forget it. Because
so calm.
Legend of Dragoon, yeah?
Yeah,
because of Legend of Dragoon.
Here we go. So calm, the spooky night, a symphony of rumors, not one but two, Return from Shadow, right? Maybe 2 games Return from Shadow, but then or 2 characters, I don't know, a Resistance. They're naming all these different games: To Dart Home as Black Monsters Escape, Twisted Hills, To Wander Lands, and Siphon Soul. So you got Siphon Filter, you've also got Soul Reaver, because he siphons souls, right? Filter your candy collections, soft from solid, a bit of Metal Gear there, and be eco-friendly. Have a metal Halloween, Metal Gear Solid, or could it be a Twisted Metal? Because there's Twisted Hills.
There were I've read it like recently that there are rumors that PlayStation wants to revive like Twisted Metal.
Yeah,
like something about that
I
runtime.
where there's smoke, there's fire, and I'm thinking these 25 games, bro. These 25 games, Bluepoint know what these 25 games are, or a lot of them are, and they've hinted to each and every one of them. So
can PlayStation revive Twisted Metal without what's his name? Was the one from creator of God of War?
David Jeff.
Yeah, David Jaffe. Is he not the owner of the Twisted Metal?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He is, yeah.
And I don't see David Jaffe join PlayStation ever again.
No,
I've just said that like I've read like that there are plans to revive Twisted Metal.
I saw the rumors. I saw the rumors as well. The Twisted Metal revival.
Now there is rumors of what's called what's the name of that game? Sly being revived.
Yeah.
Sly
Cooper.
Sly Cooper.
I love Sly Cooper.
I also saw the rumors.
Third game is like one of my favorite games of all time.
Dreamwalker in the chat. Yeah, I saw that tweet as well. Murder case of an abandoned amusement park. I saw that tweet.
The likelihood
Kojima was.
And there is also a rumor now of.
Kojima tweeted that, yeah.
There's also a rumor of Kodakawa working with PlayStation.
Kadokawa,
for creating
from software.
A new IP, a PlayStation exclusive. Like PlayStation, this is what this reminds me of. I don't know if you guys were there when people were saying back then when Xbox revealed the console, PlayStation was silent like a motherfucker, yeah? And all people were kept saying, oh, PlayStation's good, Xbox is on roll, PlayStation got caught off guard, Xbox is a monster, PlayStation don't know what to do, Xbox is on top of the world. And what happened? PlayStation revealed the PlayStation 5 and the rest is history. Just PlayStation work on their own time, and when they do, it's over. It's like when they release something, it's in an instant classic, whether you like it or not. Ghost of Tsushima, in an instant. Horizon Forbidden West. People can't stop talking about Horizon Forbidden West. All they need is the release date and it's over. And PlayStation knows their worth. They also know how to control the narrative.
Let me just respond to that. You know, when I look at PlayStation and Xbox as it stands today, PlayStation has an advantage of they had their own internal engines that are superior to that of Microsoft. So if you look at the engine of Last of Us and you look at the engine of Gears of War, Last of Us looks vastly superior. So the thing is, when you look at the potential for which one of these machines is going to show us the next gen visuals we are all hoping to see. You know, Dark Souls was very good, but you know, we all know we are going to see from both sides. One day we're going to see them show us something that is so impressive, it could even rush more sales. Because if you remember the first Xbox, they had Gears of War. When everybody saw Gears of War, there were so many Xboxes which were sold. And then Sony were lucky. I think Xbox did bad marketing, and that's why PS4 sold so crazily. But then if I was Microsoft and Sony, the first thing I'm thinking of is which game is going to show people what is true next gen till they need to get that game. Halo didn't do that. So what's happened is, if I was Sony, let's assume Microsoft is making that game, but Microsoft right now, you can tell, is going to rely on Unreal Engine 5, which is still way off. So Microsoft's version of that next gen game might be farther along than we think. If you even look at Bethesda, so many of their games are far away. But Sony, on the other hand, has this advantage of, we already had our engines ready. We've been working on this thing. Like God of War, maybe it is so incredible, and maybe the next Naughty Dog is so incredible that they don't feel we need to, we need to show you right now, because the enemy has not yet shown their cards. And based on our calculations,
It's a really good
we
point.
will be better off showing you this around November,
Guarantee it, bro.
this next gen thing,
Guarantee
and
it.
then boost Christmas sales.
I was
There
just
was a
gonna
rumor.
say, OT, guarantee it, bro. The moment Halo Infinite gets a release date, Sony are gonna absolutely they're gonna
Yeah,
Exactly.
they're gonna do something. They have
to
plenty,
counter.
and I like that.
And I mean,
remember, I just want to say one thing, then you can go, Akira. There was a rumor that PlayStation had a demo for God of War on the backhand, because there was a Xbox event and they were going to showcase Halo Infinite. And when they saw Halo Infinite how it was, they were like, yeah, no, put that demo back. We don't need to. Xbox embarrassed themselves.
Oh, but
So,
just take note.
yeah.
Take note. I'm not saying that. I'm not trying to diss Xbox fans. I believe Xbox will have their game. Maybe Hellblade 2 might be the most visually stunning game.
It's gonna
But
be
all I'm
gorgeous,
saying is,
that game, hands down.
yeah. But I'm saying that I think Sony is in the position to show us what next gen is before Microsoft
Yeah.
eventually do.
And
Yeah.
do you remember DZ's kind of little tease where he said that he knows of a game where it's so groundbreaking, not in visuals, but in what they are doing, it's never been done before, to his knowledge, I'm beginning to think that maybe visuals are not going to be the biggest jump that we've seen this gen. It's not going to be the visuals, because we're reaching a point now, guys, where, I mean, a 1.8 teraflop machine can create almost photorealistic visuals. Look at The Last of Us 2. Look at Kratos's character model in God of War. You know, so I think visuals are going to, yes, they're going to be pushed to a degree that's like, wow, this is crazy. But it's still going to be uncanny valley, you know. It's not going to be absolute photorealism, because I think that's unrealistic, but it's going to be close. But regardless, I mean, Horizon Forbidden West, it didn't hit as hard as the original Horizon Zero Dawn trailer, right? Because we've reached a point now where visuals are kind of, there's diminishing returns in the more power you put in, the less visuals you get out from it. So I think game design is going to be the biggest thing, and that's where PS5 is future-proof. Xbox Series X is not. It's got the SSD, but that's about it. You know?
I
but
think the
yeah,
load times are, we're seeing it with the load time being non-existent. I think that's the next gen
But
we're gonna see.
Xbox
I
Series
think
X can
I
do fast
will-
load times. It's more game design, and
Yeah,
there's a
but-
limit there that PS5 can
just don't-
really achieve that Xbox can't.
I just think I'd prefer that, you know, whatever DZ saw that he said it's never been done before. I really prefer that over visuals. Like Leviathan Gamer said, I'd really prefer it over visuals. And about the chat, that guy, Dreamwalker, yes, I also saw the Norman Reedus Instagram, the one with the bunny from Silent Hill. Yeah, I remember. I
And
don't
even
know. I
Kojima
don't.
did his
I
own
don't know why.
version.
Did you see that, Wooly? Norman Reedus
I saw
posted
it.
this.
I also seen these tweets from KOJIMA recently about the murder in the amusement park. It's all teasers, bro. But
Yeah,
Did you
I mean,
did you see Kojima with the bunny?
For me, Norman Reedus was the most fishiest one. I mean, whatever reason he had to post the Silent Hill bunny, like, can you think of a reason? Like, is he really for the heck of it? Because I just cannot think of a reason for Norman Reedus to find the
Kojima
need
did
to
that as
post it.
well. Kojima put
Yeah.
a bunny tweet as well. They are all
Yeah.
playing with you guys.
Yeah, but all right. By the way,
Though what I
Right,
think
sorry.
supports, though what I think supports like those Silent Hill connections to that is when you hear when you see the abandoned trailer, and then there's like that kind of like narration of some woman. She's like saying like some she's talking about some religious nut job and then some cult, which is kind of like the plot, the story of like the first Silent Hill. It was also a cult being behind things there. So I think there are like some legitimate connections to like the entire situation is really like the biggest enigmatic opus since Bermuda Triangle. Like holy hell, man.
Yeah, I just want to say, guys,
just
before
wanna-
before we continue
sorry.
this convo, I'm aware of the time and I'm aware of OT and how late it is for him, and he's got work early tomorrow. He also had a giveaway planned for tonight, but guys, because, and I'm sorry to OT for this, because of my memory wipe and everything on my PC being fucked, the file isn't there, so I'm gonna have to get it from the
Yeah, it's
emails
okay.
and- maybe me and you could talk sometime soon, OT, when you're free, brother, and you
Yeah.
can show me through how to not only get this thing up and running to show, but also get the source code to get. I can copy that source code and give to the 10 lucky viewers on the next show. Maybe we can set up a DM as well where these people DM or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But guys, we do have something very special for you guys, and we really hope it's taken OT a labor of love to create, but it's incredible. You will not believe it. It's insane what he's put together. So
we'll give it to them the next time.
100%.
So thanks so much, guys. Take care.
Much love
Take
to
care.
you, OT.
Good
brother.
night.
Thank you so
Take
much.
care, OT.
Thank
Take
you.
care,
Bye.
OT, bro.
Take care.
Good night.
By the way, Wooly,
Yes, bro.
the topic that you want to talk about, Sony and Japan.
Yes, sir. Yes, thank you.
So, all right, guys. So
can
Wooly,
I give people a quick thumbnal
Yeah,
shot? They
go
won't be
ahead.
able to hear you for a
Go ahead,
second,
yeah.
but guys, this is what we're going to be talking about. Basically, where is? Oh, to be honest, it's not on the thumbnail because it's quite a new, recently discovered topic. But I'll let Akira explain all of this. Go on, mate. Carry on.
Yeah, so Wooly got across to this article where Sony is a bit diminishing in Japan, our PlayStation. So I tried to explain to Wooly why that is, because Nintendo's untouchable in Japan. They just really own Japan. Like when they released the Switch, they decided to own Japan on that moment. So the reason for that is because when you look at Nintendo's library, most of their studios are Japanese, centric. Like almost all of their games are basically Japanese games. The only Western games that they get are basically ports, like Witcher, like Doom, for example. So, just the ports. Those are their Western, but everything that they have, almost everything, it's only really Japanese focused. So Nintendo made it clear which market they wanted to own, and it's Japan. And they were successful in that. While Sony right now, I'm really seeing Sony right now only has like 2 Japanese developers, well, Polyphony and Asubi, the developers for Astro. We got 2 Japanese developers and an overwhelming lineup of Western developers. So what I'm seeing right now as Sony's strategy is not really the Japanese market, it's kind of a worldwide approach. You see, they have third-party partnerships with Japanese developers like Square Enix, Tango Gameworks, Sai Games. Basically, those partnerships, Forspoken, Final Fantasy 16, Grand Blue Fantasy, Relink, Project Awakening. There's just so much more, and those are Japanese-focused games. Persona 5, they had Persona 5, but yeah, basically Japanese focus are more on third-party partnerships. Now they have the China Hero Project as well with the Chinese market that they're really being successful right now. And then, they got a lot of these Western developers really, Western focused. So for me, Sony is aiming for a worldwide approach on the market, not only Japan, but that's like a necessary sacrifice with this approach because they are gonna, like they're gonna be lower on Japan if they try to focus more on a general worldwide approach compared to Nintendo, where they are really focusing on capturing the Japanese market, which they did. So it's not like Sony is completely disappearing in Japan. It's not really like that. It's just that maybe it will be a little bit lower than before because they just wanna approach worldwide. Sony's goals is not the same as before anymore. This was made clear to me.
It's like Oti said, where he said that Sony are more after Japanese developers rather than the Japanese market.
Exactly.
Japan
The
is great for its devs, but the Western audience and China, that's the hotspot for consumers.
The third party partnerships is still gonna attract, of course, Japanese gamers. It's still gonna be there. It's still gonna be strong on sale. It's not gonna be like like Xbox numbers. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen, guys. It's just really not gonna happen. Nintendo is just overwhelmingly dominating Japan. It's just what it is. But like I said, Sony is playing it also smart because they know they cannot beat Nintendo. They just know that. So they'd rather focus.
Is it because Nintendo is tackling the Japanese market, which is on the go?
Yeah, Nintendo really is tackling the Japanese market. They are focusing on the Japanese market. Like I said, their library, man. If you look at their library, it's an overwhelmingly amount of Japanese games. Like you get Western games only through ports. But apart from that, it's overwhelmingly a Japanese focused library. And it attracts the world. So, worldwide Switch is still popular. It's still successful because the Japanese games are attracting the world. They have translations, they have the subtitles, they have English dubs. But Nintendo really wants to capture the Japanese market, which they own, really. And Sony, ever since they made that that Sony base in the West. No, they made a base in the West, right? They have a headquarters in the West now. Ever since they made that, it was made clear to me that Sony's approach is different now. They're not focusing on Japan anymore. They're trying a worldwide approach, and trying a worldwide approach is gonna, it's a necessary sacrifice for them to be a little bit lower in Japan. But they're not gonna disappear. They're still gonna be there. But they're not going to be as big as what they are before. Nintendo still is going to be dominant there.
Is this a smart move from them?
In my opinion, it is a smart move because
Karabi, your voice, mate, it's very muffled. We're struggling to hear you.
Oh, my bad. What about now? Better?
Yeah, a bit better, bro.
Sorry about that.
All right. So, in my opinion, it is a smart move because I am basing this on the PlayStation 4 era, basically. PlayStation 4 era is when they started to really get focused on a global market. Like not only the the Eastern market, they're really focusing on the global market. And in the PS3, Sony already struggled. We all know that because PS2 was their best generation. PS3 was a struggle. They almost lost to 360. PS4 is when they took a different approach, which is the worldwide approach that I was talking about. And Sony clearly saw that it worked. Just the Western market really just brought them up. It just really gave them the sales. It gave them a lot of success. It's undeniable, and that's why they are capitalizing to do that a lot more. And I think it's smart because it worked for them before, and if they're gonna capitalize on it, it's gonna work again. And now they have China. Karaba, I explained this before in this podcast. China is not a console country. Consoles have been banned in that country from year 2000 to 2014.
Yeah, it's huge.
And there were local attempts of a console, but they never understood what made a console great. The PS5 is the only console in the world to make a breakthrough in China, and it's very, very successful right now.
Xbox as well? I thought Xbox as well.
No, Xbox as almost no. what do you call this, presence in China right now, because if you're gonna look at the news about sales, PlayStation 5 is really dominating the Chinese market in console. I mean, even if the number is not as big as the millions people are looking at, this is China. This is not a console country. They are technically new to consoles,
Yeah.
if I may say it like that.
I have
Xbox has a good chance to have
Yeah,
some
they
success
can-
in
yeah.
China because
Xbox
the
can-
novelty is new, consoles are new, so Xbox has an
yeah.
advantage just as much as
X-
PlayStation does. But PS5 certainly
Xbox
is
can
blowing
try.
up there.
Because I mean, they are slowly trying. They had Bright Memory Infinite. They supported that. They had this. I saw this recently in the news. There's like this mobile game that Xbox is involved in. I forgot what it's called, but there is this Xbox. There's this Chinese mobile game that Xbox is involved in, and so yeah, basically because of that success, they're slowly trying to penetrate that market. Because the reason for that is China is big. It's a huge untouched market. And if there's some way for them to touch that market, then it's gonna be a big success because it's a big market. Even if Xbox only tried a mobile department for China, they will be so successful because Chinese loves mobile games and China loves their free to play and China loves their PC games. And like I said, they're new to console. And the China Hero Project, which Lost Soul aside started, Bing Yang, the Chinese developer, and Shuei creating China Hero Project. I really think this was a catalyst for them to have success in China because when they announced the PS5, they announced it with Lost Soul aside being in the PS5. They used Lost Soul aside as a marketing,
Tool.
let's say weapon, like as a marketing weapon to sell the PS5 to China. And it did. It was sold out in minutes.
In 7 minutes,
So-
pre-orders.
Yeah, it was sold in minutes. So the China Hero Project was, what Shuei started is really being successful and it's really helping him out to capture more of the world because it's not only China. There are more countries out there who has this kind of indie developers who are trying to break through. I saw
These indie
a game
developers
from-
are like a whole level above indie developers
Yeah.
that we conventionally are used to in terms of
Yeah.
sheer talent because these guys have been developing mobile games for years and
Yeah,
with mobile
exactly.
games comes a shitload of optimizations necessary, so
Sorry, you know what I think, Karab? I think a lot of people are thinking too small because the world is big and because of the overwhelmingly, that people are getting more access to technology, like the Unreal Engine 5, Unreal Engine 4. This is opening up so many doors for so many people around the world, and all that needs to be done is for them to get discovered, just like how it's done with Lost Soul Aside. If Lost Soul Aside was not discovered, it would have never, come to fruition. Because I'm gonna tell you a little story with Lost Soul Aside. This was by Bing Yang. It's this one guy, this one Chinese developer who is just making a game in his free time, even though he had work, and he's working on this game every time he's finished with work. Every day. He's doing that all alone by himself. He did the concept art, he did the animation, he did the drawing, he did the environment, he did everything. Everything that was shown in Lost Soul Aside, he did that all alone. By himself.
That should look amazing, huh?
While he was having a job. Then he decided to show this game to some people because ever since he was a little boy, he wanted to be a game developer, but he thought he's not gonna make it. But he still went for it because it's his passion and his ambition. So he tried to put it on his YouTube channel, and he put it on Facebook and on Twitter, and it blew up. It blew up. Lost Soul Aside really blew up, and that's how Sony found him, and that's why Shuei flew to China, and he tried a bunch of indie games, and then he created China Hero Project, and basically Lost Soul Aside started all that. And
Wow,
if
from
that can,
one
if that-
game.
if that can happen with Lost Soul Aside, it can happen anywhere in the world.
Mm-hmm.
People just need to think. People just need to think bigger, especially with Unreal Engine 5 making games easier for people, even for indie developers. Just imagine their possibilities when that engine is released. If they can make such magic with Unreal Engine 4, like with Black Myth Wukong, that's Unreal Engine 4 by the way. If they can make such magic with Unreal Engine 4 with 30 people, you just imagine another individual with so much passion like Yang Bing from Lost Soul Aside to use the Unreal Engine 5.
Facts.
Yeah, like
Mhm.
people, in my opinion, people need to think a bit bigger. The people are thinking too small. It's just way too close minded.
think
It's too focused on what exists right now. For me, I think gaming has a future, a brighter future, because people need to think bigger. It's
I
just
think people
more
use
more
console word too much in this. That's what generates too. PlayStation is losing Japanese market. Console wars, that's it. They don't
It's
want
just
to think
it's just
bigger.
yeah, people just need to think bigger. For me, I think because of Unreal Engine 5 becoming very easy to access, uh, seeing all these indie developers pop up and make noise, it just gives more hope for video games in the future. People
Mhm.
just really need to think bigger. It's not gonna go small. Technology is only gonna improve from here on out. But people need to think bigger. People need to view the bigger picture here.
Mhm.
Because this is not the world of what exists right now. They're still amazing. They're incredible. They're gonna be a legend. That's not gonna change. But like with every generation, like with people as well, like all people pass and there's a new generation of, young people who's gonna take over. And basically that's what's happening right now. It's a generation refreshed. People need to think bigger because eventually we'll get a generation refresh. And the game industry is just gonna get bigger and bigger. The game industry was not this big before. I don't know
Mhm.
if anybody realized, but the game industry is gigantic right now. It's actually one of the biggest media right now.
Yeah.
And
Oh
I've never
yeah,
imagined that
it's massive.
I never imagined that video games are gonna reach this level of popularity in the world.
Mhm.
Because when I was a gamer before, I was getting bullied for being different. But nowadays, it seems like almost everybody games in some kind of way.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I gotta ask
So
you.
yeah,
You go ahead.
yeah, good. Sorry. Go ahead. Ask
I
me.
gotta ask you this, and not to change the subject, but I'm just curious about your
Yeah.
opinion because you're Japanese
Uh,
and you understand
uh,
the Japanese market. Uh,
uh,
do you think Game Pass have any
uh,
chance to penetrate the Japanese market because
uh,
it's on mobile, because it's on the go, because there is
yeah,
xCloud? Do you
yeah.
think Japanese are interested in such concept?
I think the concept is great in Japan or in Asia in general because of xCloud. You see, and in Japan, um, like Nintendo understood, a lot of people are on the go. A lot of people work, and they also want to take a break and game whenever they have a break. And handheld is kind of a way to go when you're on the go, and that's like a popular concept in Japan. So if they can really stabilize xCloud in Japan with Game Pass and maybe some Japanese games in the mix, if they can make that happen, I don't know yet, but if they can, and if they really can stabilize xCloud and Game Pass, yeah, it has a chance. It really has a chance because it's handheld and you got a lot of games with you basically at your disposal. It is a very attractive concept if they can stabilize it
This is
because
exactly
that's
why
like
Xbox tried to make a deal with Nintendo about putting Game Pass on
yeah,
Nintendo Switch.
yeah, exactly. The Nintendo deal was basically they were trying to really
But
get more into Japan, but yeah, that's not gonna happen. Nintendo doesn't need
is
anyone; they
it
only need
not
themselves.
is it not better to just buy Sega and be done with it? Like genuinely,
Uh,
buy Sega
uh,
and they got a Japanese foothold. Not even
yeah,
that. I said it on
but
VGP. Shout out to VGP. Um, Shinji Mikami. They have Shinji Mikami.
yeah,
Put
there's Shinji Mikami.
money
Yeah,
into his studio.
yeah,
Make his
yes,
studio bigger and
yeah,
create a game
I
like
think there's
yeah,
I think there's
Silent Hill.
laws. I think there's
Or
laws protecting Sega from being
yeah.
bought by
About
Microsoft because of monopolization.
there are issues with Sega as well that and you know, if I look at Sega right now, and if they try to get purchased by Microsoft, it's kind of, I don't, there is no profit for them right now, and there's a simple reason for it, is because most of Sega's games right now are multiplat. They thrive on multi-platforms right now. I don't know if they can, you know, if they can really survive through exclusivity, especially when their market is really dominant on PlayStation. Their dominant markets are PlayStation and Nintendo. And Xbox, you know, recently got more of their games, you know, seems like they're getting a bit better with their relationship, but that's not as long as what PlayStation and Nintendo built with Sega. And this is what I'm thinking of, like, even if Sega were offered, they're also still gonna think if it's good for them, because right now I really cannot see any kind of profit for Sega to get purchased. Now about Shinji Mikami, yes, I cannot voice this enough. Xbox has, for me, one of the most innovative developers in the industry. They have Tango Gameworks with them, with Shinji Mikami. Like I said, the most innovative developers in the industry for me. He is a legend in Japan. People know his name. He is a very popular developer. I really wish Xbox would kind of realize that they really have someone who can help them penetrate the Japanese market, because you know people in Japan love Shinji Mikami just like how they love Hideo Kojima.
Yeah,
And
I
if
think
they can
Microsoft
make a
is sitting on a
big
gold
game,
mine, but it's so
yeah,
ironic.
they're sitting on
I
a
would
gold
not.
mine.
With all the money that they
Yeah.
have, it's ironic that they
Dude,
don't know how to spot
like,
opportunities like that.
sorry, look at this. Listen to this. Ghostwire Tokyo, before the Bethesda acquisition, was a time exclusive, right? You should realize by that PlayStation know how valuable Tango Gameworks is, that they made this deal with them at a time exclusive for Ghostwire Tokyo. Because that's, you know, with Shinji Mikami with them. And again, if they did that, like, they need to realize they just captured a gold mine by a publisher acquisition.
I just
I
hope they're going. I just hope they're going to
They,
treat this man well, because like
yeah,
Shinji
they
Mikami's like a true
nurtured a man.
visionary. Like he's like a true visionary. Like guys like him are like what makes that art form so exciting. What makes that art form
Yeah,
art, you know? But those are like also usually the guys that get so wrong, you know? Like I
yeah,
remember
but
like God Hand, he made God Hand, he
yeah,
had
God,
full creative
and
control over it. He got screwed by the critics and it's so
yeah, yeah,
poorly, and
yeah.
I just want
Th-
him to have, complete creative control over anything, and
y-
Xbox giving him this respect he deserves, because like
Yeah.
visionaries like him deserve that kind of respect.
no, not
You
until
know,
now.
Wooly, this is like Wooly, this is like one of my haven't voiced it before, but I have because of Shinji Mikami really trying so many innovative stuff in his past years. It's like God Hand and Vanquish that didn't really sell well, because it's kind of true what who said that before, like, yeah, Karaba. It's kind of true that a lot of people in this industry really don't like, you know, change or different.
Change, new
There's
something different.
like we are in the minority when it comes to change or different or something unique. We're kind of in the minority. His most popular game is Resident Evil 4, and you know what the reason is? It's a third-person shooter, with action, and that's amazing and all that. But it's also a game that's, that's kind of like it's kind of like normal to people's eyes.
But at the
But
same
it's a
time,
great game, by the
Resident
way.
Evil 4 did
Yeah,
did
it's a great game. I love
at
that
the
game.
time Resident Evil 4 released, it was different.
Yeah.
That over the shoulder
Yeah, it was
view
different.
Yeah.
was new. It
Yeah,
was new and exciting. So he did innovate.
Yeah.
He didn't rely on
Yeah, it
tropes
did
that were
innovate.
popular. Which
But I think
also
Resident
is to
Evil
his
was
credit,
also
it's to his credit.
yeah. Resident Evil was also a popular brand, so that helped
Yeah.
with his innovation. But that's what I'm talking about. With the
But
innovation, it helps with a popular brand. But with his new IPs, like with the God Hand and Vanquish, Evil Within, bro, even Evil Within, dude, Evil Within for me is like one of the best, one of the best kind of like
It has
survival horror games I
It's
played.
everything. It's everything Alone in the Dark should have been. Evil Within.
Yeah, exactly.
mhm.
And
in my
that
opinion.
also, the and that also kind of not made it to the to the big leagues, if you know what I mean. It didn't it didn't reach the that high point
It's the wonky,
basically.
it's the wonky, weird, clunky character
Yeah.
animation and handling, which I think let the
Yeah.
game down. But
Yeah.
at the same time, there is almost a I don't almost a charm to it.
Yeah, there is a
Mhm.
charm. Yeah.
I think it's phenomenal. But yeah, guys, no, I really like the way that you kind of broke that down, Akira, and say, I think if there's one thing that's so clear with this podcast is it's a company of gamers. It really fucking is. Like you guys are so passionate, man, and I love that so much about this panel. So yeah, big ups to you guys. But yeah, no, I 100% agree. I think just as he almost innovated and took a huge leap of faith on a popular franchise, Resident Evil, with Resident Evil 4, completely changing it up, flipping it on its head. And not only that, creating a new style of shooter, because the over-the-shoulder, Resident Evil 4 invented that pretty much. There wasn't, at least to my knowledge, Resident Evil 4 was the beginning of kind of the popular kind of over-the-shoulder-esque kind of semi kind of restricted Dead Space-esque shoot kind of genres that we have, and it hadn't been done before. It was new, it was different, and I think if Microsoft allowed him to truly go nuts, but at the same time there needs to be that culture there within their environment. There needs to be that cohesive culture where they kind of breed creativity, and I don't just mean passion, guys. Passion isn't the key to unlocking Pandora's box, you know what I mean? Like, Microsoft, they claim to have the passion, but, all
I don't
I've seen
believe
is
it.
Gears, Halo, and Forza, and I'm not going to turn this
Yeah.
into a bashing in Xbox, but they need to do something with Gears. They need to flip it on its head, take a gamble, take a risk. Now, Forza Horizon 5, we can all agree this game looks freaking amazing. It is stunningly beautiful. It's gorgeous, right? And hats off to Playground Games, one of the most talented dev teams on the planet, without a doubt. Microsoft have got a solid team there. That they really deliver. But I just want to see. I don't know. I just want to see them push boundaries, and I really hope they do. I hope Hellblade
Do
is
you
something
think
special.
do you think they're capable of? What I mean by that is, and this is all in the history book. When you have a person like Phil Spencer that is on record saying, one, when he canceled Scalebound, he said that's good for the Xbox fan base. When he said single player game doesn't have the same impact. Back then, when PlayStation literally just unleashed God of War and Horizon Zero Dawn, and Nintendo released Breath of the Wild. So to
Honestly,
me,
Karaba, honestly,
yeah,
in answer to that, I think anyone will spout all kinds of shit when they're in the position of desperation and they're losing and they are in a
which is
deep mire and they need to get out. What I will say is that Xbox is the strongest it has been today than it has in the last 8 to 10 years, which is a credit to Phil. Yeah, he's not my cup of tea. I think the Xbox culture is a little bit cringe for me. I think this whole, how they kind of, mind you, we kind of worship Yoshida to a degree. We kind of, we have a, but I think it's more a deep respect for like Yoshida and Sony. The people have a deep respect.
I worship
whereas-
we can
Yoshida.
expect that she
whereas in
Yoshida
Xbox-
legacy.
yeah, but with Phil, they just love his personality. It's not what he's done that they love. It's the way he looks and his personality,
And
which is a little
that's
cringe
the
for me, right?
problem.
Which is a little
She
cringe.
does.
But is Phil Spencer a snake oil salesman? Well, look at what Microsoft are presenting here with Forza. Granted, you could argue yeah, that's Playground Games doing what Playground Games does, which is a fair point. And yes, we still have barely seen gameplay. We've still not seen gameplay of Hellblade, for fuck's sake. We've seen trailers, but these trailers, they're so elusive when it comes to gameplay. They show little tiny teasers. Whereas, you know, whilst Sony have been knocking it out of the park with release after release after release. So yeah, I think there's still a bit more bullshit to get through with Phil, but I think he is pulling Xbox out of the mud slowly, and that is a credit to him. I'm not gonna. He's doing a good job in that regard. I'm not gonna say though that the shit that he comes out with, he's better off keeping his mouth shut. But Xbox fanboys, they lap that shit up. They love that shit. They love dumb statements.
Yeah,
they love dumb statements that don't make sense. So I'm thinking
Because
to
they're
myself,
sorry, that reminds me for
No, go
final
ahead.
topic is basically that what Phil said. That's our final topic actually.
oh, maybe
You know,
you're
about
helping me out.
him not. Sorry, no, the one that he's not copying Sony or Nintendo.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
like
must be different.
That's very
Yeah.
true. That is
That-
very
Yeah.
true.
that's the exact reason why I don't see Phil Spencer turning it around. Not only that, I genuinely would not bat an eye or be in any way shocked if Shinji Mikami just leaves.
The thing
genuinely
that I'm
don't-
thinking, bro, is this, right? I don't think it's down to Phil's talent that will get Microsoft survive. I think it's down to them getting 50 million subs. I think that's literally what they are relying on. They are biding time to build up that subscriber base to the point where they are self-sufficient and they're not constantly bleeding money. And they need to get to that
profit.
They need to get to that between once they reach 35 million, they're in the safe zone. Once they reach 50 million, they've really turned things around. But that is what they are solely reliant on. No matter how good a guy is who comes into Xbox, he either would have to undo all of that shit, somehow make a shitload of sales to get the money necessary to create content and do it the traditional way that Sony does. But I doubt that would ever happen. It would be just too costly for Microsoft after everything that they've done. So they are literally reliant on Game Pass. Game Pass is what's going to save Xbox, which is as cringe to say as it is to think about, right? But it's true. It's not Phil that will save Xbox. It's Game Pass. But Game Pass has to attract, and right now, it's extremely lacking in the sense that these big heavy hitters are very rare, and most people. I mean, Hades. How many people have been playing Hades on the PS5? A shit ton. Why? Because they bought it for 20 quid. They're not going to go, I'll subscribe to Game Pass for a tenner to try it out and then maybe buy it for another 20. It just doesn't work like that. People buy games they want to play, and that's the majority of people. You need to have a serious shift in mindset in the mass consumer base before they view Game Pass as the only option. Only diehard Xbox fans, Phil worshippers, see the value of Game Pass as intensely as, say, Destin makes out. And shit like that, in my opinion. But, yeah.
What crazy is when I was playing a game, and I will never forget this. I was playing a game called, what's the name of that game? Immortal Phoenix Rising. I was enjoying it. I was having fun. It's a blast. I'm enjoying it. I'm playing it, and all of a sudden I see a tweet from an Xbox dude. A famous Xbox dude. Now he is officially getting paid by Microsoft. And he is playing it, and the first sentence that comes out of his mouth is, "This game should have been on Game Pass." I'm like, why? Why are you not talking about the gameplay? Why are you not talking about the graphics? Why are you not talking about the mechanics?
Yep.
Why is your
Because he isn't getting paid for that.
It's Game Pass.
What did you say, Will? You said a good point.
Yeah, because he's not getting paid for that.
Facts.
No,
want the
no,
big
no.
bucks from
Beforehand,
Microsoft, dude.
he was not getting paid.
No, but
Beforehand.
he was reaching for it. That's the point. And if you're
Okay.
reaching for a payment from Microsoft, you got to promote what they want you to promote. And at the end of the day, like I said, Destin now views content as a fee. Literally, you watch his video, former PS5 fan. Former PS5 fan. How can you be a former fan of a freaking console that's not even a year old? I don't know.
He
But
is a liar.
a former PS5 fan disgruntled with additional fees, right? That's his video. And he was talking about how these additional fees like Ghost of Tsushima DLC. Are you seriously telling me that DLC, i.e. more content, a whole new island, is a fee to you? That you have to, you buying additional content, all you can focus on is the fee, not the content.
Yeah.
Like, what has Game Pass done to you, sir? Like, what the freaking hell has Phil said to you over the phone that's made you suddenly completely drop all your love of gaming and go balls deep in your love of Phil Spencer, like in your love of Game Pass? Like, seriously,
I don't know, dude.
mate. These guys are going balls deep, and they're the leading journalists in the gaming industry. These guys are the ones who, and they're all fucking simping. They're simping for Phil, and you know. This is said on every podcast. You know, I don't want this just to be just going down this road where we're all just saying the same thing. We all know this is the status quo, guys. So the difference is these guys who even flipping Push Square are showing signs of fatigue.
Oh my God! Don't start.
Right, I'm just gonna start for this second, right, guys. Push Square are showing signs of fatigue, and what do I mean by fatigue? I mean this. Continuing to cover PlayStation without ever receiving a paycheck or a thank you. How? Oh, woe is them. You mean PlayStation doesn't thank journalists who get paid for covering their content from advertisements and from people watching their content? What does PlayStation owe them? Nothing. And they know this. They don't buy sponsor. They don't buy their sponsor. They don't buy. Yes, they maybe give them a game to review. But fine, but they don't try to own them. That's Microsoft's shtick. That's how Microsoft make business. They buy influencers, right? Personalities. They get them in. They scratch the backs. You know, me scratch your back, you scratch mine, and so that's really attractive to journalists. That's really attractive to these gaming journalist sites that have covered gaming for years and years and years, and now they're seeing Paris hit the big time, but where are they? They're still doing the same old shit. So it's going to be one-sided, guys. It's going to be, because Microsoft has basically just decided to, right, we'll buy their clicks. We'll buy their liking our platform. We'll buy their favor. And if you're a journalist and that's your life, would you turn that down? Would you turn Microsoft offering you a paycheck? Or turn down the opportunity?
Also, the money machine is now hating on PlayStation. The more you hate on PlayStation, the more people are going to talk about you. We've seen it with Justin. We've seen it with Paris. We've seen it now with Push fucking Square of our company.
Called Push Y.
It's like when you do that, look at it. We're talking about it right now. They're gonna generate click. I didn't even click on their website because I know it's bullshit.
Yeah.
Like everything that person was saying is bullshit. Like at the end of the day, it's all about the game. Fuck the future. Fuck everything. It's all about the game. What did you deliver to me? Well, PlayStation, Ratchet, and Clank, Returnal, and
Alana Pierce did it right. Yellow chair aside, Alana Pierce decided to actually get a real job, right? And when I say a real job, I mean instead of trying to shill for this company's favor by covering them always in a favorable light, every criticism is kind of wishy-washy and muddled with praise. Like what was like that Destin said, when are you going to fix trophies for Game Pass games? Because I'm losing on my 1,000 points a week. So he wanted to throw in that he plays, he gets 1,000 points a week on Game Pass. That's he loves it that much, right? So please, Microsoft, pretty please with a cherry on top, fix the gaming score system for Game Pass games for me, like the software side. Just thank you so much. Oh, by the way, PS5 sucks and can kiss ass. You know, so this is kind of how he comes across, is that he's super critical of one, and any criticisms that he has for the other is not only rare, but it's kind of with covered in candy and candy frost and kind of sugar and all things nice, because he doesn't want to upset them, and he wants it to kind of come across a bit kind of, I don't know, playful and appealing, like he's really a huge fan. So this will always be the case with these journalists, because they care more about making a business, their business, and making things work for them than they do, because that their passion. When your passion becomes your job takes over your passion. Does that make sense?
They don't have a passion.
And so Destin was a passionate gamer. He probably still is to a degree, but all he can focus on now is his job. And unfortunately, that's come at the cost of his integrity. Because who can really take him seriously? You know that everything he covers about Microsoft will be relatively praiseworthy and full of praise and good things, and anything he covers with Sony will always be slanted with a slight. And Sony don't pay these guys. Sony don't do what Microsoft does. So, you know, it's, well, you don't scratch my back, then I'll go to those who will. And
remember that woman that openly, and I will never forget that it was, I don't know if it was an interview or not, but she was on Kind of Funny Games show with Greg Miller, and I will never forget what he said. She openly said, I don't like PlayStation because they don't send me free stuff.
Yeah,
I love
remember
Facebook
that.
because they send me free stuff.
Facts. She said that on what's his name?
Greg Miller show.
Yeah, Greg Miller show. Yeah.
Kind of funny. It's like she genuinely said the quiet thing out loud. It's like journalism in entirety is long gone. It's genuinely, and I don't think that will ever be repaired.
Whereas Alana, she avoided that. She had a wake-up call with the yellow chair. Seriously, I reckon that scared the shit out of her, because she realised, holy shit, we've all just been made to look silly because we accepted dirty money. We accepted money at the cost of our integrity. She woke the fuck up. She shook her head, and she continued doing what she does best, being real and honest. And she went and applied for a job at Sony. She's got it, and now she's better than she Paris would envy her. Paris's position is nowhere near that of Alana Pierce, because she's working at one of the most accomplished and accredited studios on the planet, and in a position of royalty, right? Royalty.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what you get for sticking true. But what you don't get, guys, is you don't get, oh look, I've said these nice things about you, now pay me. That's not how Sony work, whereas that's how Microsoft work. So yeah, it might sound very generalized this and very unprofessional, because how can I prove all this? But guys, come on, you just do all the cross-referencing. See how all these guys say the same old shit, and how everything's slighted against Sony. But and plus you've got proof. Paris, what more proof do you want? You know, the guy hit it big time with Microsoft and became an employee, a sponsor, because of his constant praise. And same
with Tim Dog,
Tim Dog. Yeah, Tim Dog. He's now dealer. He isn't verified, but I don't think he's verified. But you can guarantee if Tim Dog's with Microsoft, then dealer is. No way would dealer not be.
Of course. It called dealer, Tim Dog, and even Randall Thor. Like I used to be a fan of Randall Thor. I genuinely used to be a fan of him. What happened is, do you know that 1 year ago, when Xbox attended E3 on their own and they fell on their face, yeah? They fell flat on their face. I will never forget how Randolph Thor was was tried to be critical about Microsoft
Randall
because
Thor.
he was genuinely disappointed. At the very end, to just not make them mad, he's like, "What do I know? I am just a guy that having a podcast and playing video game and talk about video games."
Literally, that is
Fuck out,
all the evidence you need. Literally.
fuck out of here with that insulted my intelligence to such level. I'm like,
But
yeah,
what happened,
no.
bro? He was critical of Microsoft. Then Microsoft reminded him, "Hey, we pay
No,
you.
no,
We
no.
pay you the big
Even
bucks."
he was uh, in the same podcast. He just knew he
Yeah.
went too far, and he had to remember himself and the audience that yeah, no, he's nobody. He's just a shill, and he needed to remind himself. Oh yeah, no, I'm just a nobody. I'm getting paid by you. Please don't trap me because we know Xbox discards you if you're not useful for them anymore.
Yep.
My bad. I'm just. It's
No,
just.
guys,
It's
this is good though, right? Because this podcast is mostly kind of geared towards like looking at the I don't know breaking shit down, but that doesn't mean we shy away from difficult subjects like this that need to be spoken about. This isn't a Game Pass centered podcast where we just talk about Game Pass or we just talk about I don't know Sony all the time. We want this podcast to be where we look at the reasons behind the way things are and why things are the way they are, and you got to address the elephant in the room here. This isn't to slander these guys. It's purely to state the obvious that these guys are in partnership with Microsoft. It's impossible that they're not. But then it's a level of common sense. If you're in partnership with a competing company, how the hell can you criticize that company if you're in partnership with them? At least to any kind of degree that's impactful. You cannot. Because every criticism to kind of appear like you're not completely one-sided for your own, so people hopefully take you seriously, is wishy-washy and covered in snowflakes. Whereas, but any criticism against the competition, no holds barred. You know, you're fully down on their throats. You know, and this is kind of the way it's going to be for the majority of influencers going forward. I think there are those who have tried to distance themselves from that, mostly Skill Up and Young and Elena.
No.
But these guys, no, these guys have slipped up. These guys have slipped up. I 100% agree. These guys have messed up in the past, but they still haven't gone down that rabbit hole fully. They haven't fully jumped in. Because I think maybe they get the majority of their wages elsewhere, and maybe it's just not worth it. They think that it's not at the cost of their integrity. And, you know, to me, I've stopped watching these guys because I lost respect for them with the yellow chair incident.
Not only that, Kill Up Last of Us 2 review, when he lied so much in one video, I was like, yeah, no, I'm done with you. When he said
that's down to
with this sentence that the enemy AI didn't change from Last of Us 1, I was like, yeah, no, I'm done. You didn't play the game. You didn't even attempt to understand the game. And that's my biggest issue. And my biggest issue with journalism is, like, we can criticize PlayStation. Like, we should criticize PlayStation. Like, till today, I will say PlayStation 5 needs themes and also need a folder for demos. Like, PlayStation 4 have a folder where you can go there and find demos. Easy peasy.
Themes and demos, I agree.
PlayStation 5 doesn't
and it needs
have
an off button, because clearly it doesn't have one, apparently.
and the easiest thing is you can criticize that you're being fair. You're calling something out that's important, that's needed.
Yeah,
It's your opinion if needed or not, but
facts.
at least you're honest. But when you fabricate a story like, I don't know how to turn my PlayStation off, like, you have literally people doing it without
I
looking
mean,
at the
yeah.
screen.
How do you, as a professional adult human being, how do you really expect people to take you seriously, except the small group who like having their ears tickled, right? The relatively small group who love having their ears tickled. How can you expect people to take you seriously? You're a grown-ass man and you're there either complaining about a screwdriver. I mean, Linus Tech Tips shot that shit down straight away. Or you're complaining about how you don't know how to turn your freaking console off. How are you a gamer? I mean, yeah, but like Oti said, I think he was being a bit hyperboleic. He was hyperboling a little bit just for effect, but I think it's backfired because he made himself sound really stupid. But I mean, go figure. That's the status quo of these guys, right? They reach for the stars but fall flat on their ass. Before we wrap it up, guys, because it's been a good 3 hours now, I want to hear just Caesar and Will's and Akira's take on this, because
Yeah.
me and Karaba have been talking a lot for the last.
Yeah, my
minutes, and I
bad.
apologize.
Yeah.
I
It's
need
all
to
good.
shut up a
It's
lot.
all
My
good.
bad.
It's all
Uh,
good.
well, I wanted to have a couple of points about what you were talking
Would love
about
to hear them, brother. I'm all ears.
Game Pass and all that paying for content stuff, because well, Game Pass, the people that praise Game Pass, it's, in my opinion, it's because it's something new. They are getting access at once to a lot of content, so it's a big gift for newcomers. But as you already said, lacks of new content.
Yeah.
And with as the time passes, this hype that most people have and pray for Game Pass, I think will go down. But that's the reason I think all the people are praising so much Game Pass, because I remember when, for example, I paid for I was paying for 1 year or maybe
Same
a
here.
couple of years
Yeah.
for Origin, that
Origin.
EA platform. And
Yeah.
at the end, when you jump into for the first time, you getting access to a lot of content, and you're happy because you have a lot of content. But at the end, you end up realizing
I don't play
that
hardly
it's
any of these.
a lot of old stuff, a lot of old stuff that if you want, you can buy for a couple of bucks or maybe $5 more of those games, a lot of those games on Steam, for example, and you're paying each month and every month, and you're getting maybe one game every 3 or 4 months, a
Facts.
new game. Uh, but maybe you're not interested in this game because at the end, I agree. I buy to buy the games I really want to play, not just try.
Yeah.
And I think the euphoria of people around Game Pass is because of that, because it's new.
Yeah. 100%. I
And
agree with you, brother. Waterfalls stay fresh, whereas pools at the bottom, or puddles, they stagnate. And Microsoft are throwing everything into a puddle for people just to take any time, day one. But that's not efficient in terms of both business and in terms of consumer kind of, I know, satisfaction.
it's not a reality right now, because what games are Microsoft drop from their first party studios?
Well, flight simulator that
Flight
released last
Sim,
year.
and
Exactly.
that's all.
That's it.
Yeah, okay. It's Forza Horizon 5 is coming, but it's not a reality yet. and it's been almost a year
Speaking
since they
facts.
launched a console.
Speaking
And
facts.
yeah, and the other thing about the downloadable content or expansions, because the Ghost of Tsushima, the Iki Island is expansion, not it's not a DLC, it's expansion.
100%.
But
That's a good
it
point.
doesn't matter. The thing is, the fact that someone, because I think all of us agree that we work for money. We don't work for free. Nobody works for free, and devs are not an exception. So the thing that somebody decides to give you something for free, don't gives you the right to demand that everyone has to give you things for free.
100%.
So if
Spoken like OT himself.
yeah, if somebody wants to give you something for free, okay, be grateful, but don't demand everybody to give you everything for free. If developers of Sucker Punch want to charge you $10, $20, whatever, it's your decision. If you agree with that price, buy it. If you don't agree, don't buy it. Maybe wait for a discount or whatever. But that's all. I don't understand all this noise about these things, because people, because in great part because of Game Pass, it seems they're getting used to get things for free, but in fact the fact is they don't receiving nothing for free. They paying for a platform that give you access to content. But maybe this is the misunderstanding, no? It seems that everybody I don't know how to say that. That must be the norm, that you have to receive things for free.
Yeah. I think
No,
people today expect that they can buy shit with a please, instead of with actual money. And I live in a world where if you buy something, you have to give in order to receive that product. You have to give us something. It comes at a cost. And I just cannot get over the fact, the biggest thing for me is that a grown-ass journalist and director of IGN, an 18 million subscriber base, right? And the most popular gaming journalist website on the planet, called actual content, a full expansion, a fee. He called it a fee. He didn't even think of it as a game. And that's just completely like, yeah, I'm not on this boat, fam. That ain't the shit that I want. It's beyond a joke now that people really have this mentality. But like you said, bro, devs deserve to be paid, and I'm proud that I'm part of a community that feels the same, because these devs appreciate you and me greatly. They appreciate the support, and they have a direct communication and a direct relationship with the consumer, because they're reliant on the consumer. Whereas developers at Xbox Game Studios, or Game Pass Studios as I call them, that they don't have a direct relationship with the consumer anymore. They have a direct relationship with Microsoft, and Microsoft deal with the consumer.
And another big mistake that I think people is making is that you can not compare a simple patch that unlocks, for example, a PS4 game to run at 60 FPS if you play it on PS5. You can not put this at the same level of an Iki expansion, for example, of Ghost of Tsushima.
Facts.
It's day and night. The amount of work one thing has and the other. So, okay, this thing. Well, that's all I want to say.
Amen to that, Kurt. Caesar Exposito. I could not agree more with you. You're absolutely spot on. Will, what's
Thank you,
your
bro.
thoughts on all this, bro? I would love to hear your thoughts.
It's very difficult for me to say more about this because I feel like everything that could have been said about that was already said.
Nice. Yeah, mate. Respect to that, 100%. Because I agree. I think we've milked it. But everything's been covered really well. And Akira, your thoughts, bro? Before we wrap this up.
Yeah. This one, oh God, where do you even begin? Well, I just really think to the point of actually disrespecting developers' work just for the sake of how do you say? I don't know, attention, clout, you name it. It's kind of for me. I really hope that developers don't look at this at all. Like, they don't take it any way possible. Like, they should just, like, it doesn't represent them. You know what I mean? Like, it should not hinder them from whatever they want to do. So, in my opinion, that whenever something is concerned of money, I always believe it's a choice. I think it's you can, let's say, you can give a criticism in a proper way, but for me, in my eyes, it's just really a choice. It's their business. They sell what they need to sell, and it's your choice if you buy or if you don't buy. Like,
Exactly.
I really don't. Sometimes when it comes to business decisions, I really don't understand complaints when you have the choice. Just really, it's really a choice. These people need to, it's their bread and butter. They need to earn, so they sell. That's why there's a business. And if you find it unfair, and that just don't buy. Like, this is my thing. Don't complain for my sake. Because for example, I'm gonna buy this. Like, for example, I'm gonna buy this DLC, right? Because I want to buy the DLC.
Mm-hmm.
Don't complain for my sake if you don't have any plans to buy, because you want to complain about this certain thing. Like, do not complain for my sake. There's a difference between a complaint and a criticism, and I know how to differentiate the two. And for the majority that I saw, they are complaints, not criticisms. They can say those are criticism. No, that's different. A criticism is not equal to a complaint. A complaint is more in line with a demand, while a criticism is more of a suggestion.
That's a great point.
So, yeah.
Phenomenally well put, guys. What a fire show! I'm so pleased we were able to have the show tonight, despite the really difficult start. I'm really upset with my PC. I'm really upset with what's happened. I'm scared that once I turn my PC off, everything will be deleted again. But I don't know, and nothing will work again. But I'm gonna try and get to the bottom of this and get it all sorted. But yeah, thank you so much to every one of you, both on the panel, for supporting Caesar. What an epic first podcast, bro! Like, for your first podcast, you were absolute on fire, and you should definitely give yourself a pat on the back, because you
Thank you, bro.
You brought amazing conversation, amazing points, great insight, a lot of knowledge, and and credence to what you said, and very, very, very grateful to have you on. So definitely would love to have you on again. Where can we find you, man?
Thank you, bro. Well, next podcast. Sorry, let me know, and if I can, I'll join.
100%. On the next podcast that we have a guest space empty. You'd be the first I snatch up. We've got quite a few guests on the waiting list, but yeah, consider yourself definitely on again. 100% would love to have you on. So thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate
You
it.
can find Caesar Exposito at Caesar_Exposito on Twitter. I have his tag here. I've just posted it in the chat, and it's also in the description below. But yeah, give Caesar Exposito a follow. There's a reason why I invited him on, guys. He gives great takes. His Twitter is always informative. He's always trying to get to the bottom of shit. This KOJIMA conspiracy with Abandoned has been driving him crazy, as it has me. But yeah, gotta love a passionate guy.
The amusement park. The amusement park tweet really shaking things up a bit.
Yeah,
The murder in
100%.
the amusement park.
100%.
God.
They know, bro. Karaba, my bro, your first time on this podcast. Very happy to have you on. And thank you so much for joining us, brother. You're well known in the podcast community, because you always you're always out there, kind of dishing the facts, giving your opinions, and shutting down narratives, and we love that, bro. So thank you so much for being on. Where can we find you, my guy?
Yeah, first of all, thanks for having me. When I saw you're having a show, I asked you if I can join, and you said okay. So I very much appreciate that. Second of all, my bad for the panel and for chat because I talk a lot. When I'm passionate about
That's all
something,
good.
it's
all
really
good, bro.
hard.
You should set up your own podcast and call it the Karaba Show,
I
because
think
it
I
would
might-
work. It would work.
Yeah.
I genuinely have plan for that, but I don't know if that can work or not. I need to think about it.
Yeah.
But you're not the first person that tell me to do so. But genuinely, thank you for the invite. And yeah, see you next time. You can find me at _chab on Twitter.
Awesome. Shout out to Buck Roger in the chat. He fell asleep during the abandoned talk. That's hilarious. I'm sorry, brother. But I appreciate it's not everybody's cup of tea. But no, thank you for being here and supporting. And thank you, Karaba, bro. No, awesome to have you. My good friend and esteemed podcaster Akira Yagami.
Yo.
Absolute legend. Love everything. Every time you open your mouth, dude. That sounded really wrong. I mean, every time you speak. My guy.
Yeah.
Love hearing what you
gotcha.
have to say. So, thank you so much for your passionate breakdown of why China is a big deal and why shit in Japan is not going how people would necessarily expect for PlayStation, but actually, you know, why we don't need to be worried. And what makes Japan a useful place for PlayStation to source talent rather than necessarily consumers. That was awesome.
Yeah.
So thank you, bro. Where can we find you, my guy?
Yeah, anytime. Yeah, basically I'm on Twitter, YouTube I'm still figuring it out. But yeah, I'm on Twitter. I pretty much if you follow Wooly, you'll find me surely for sure. And thank you again. And like I said, people just need to think a little bit bigger. A lot of them are thinking too small, thinking too close, man. It's a big world out there, and they need to think bigger because even the developers are thinking bigger now. So we as gamers need to think bigger as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. And Will, my dude, I'm stoked as F that you are on this panel. So thank you very much for joining us for a second time, and with many more to come, no doubt. Where can we find you, my guy? Awesome having you here.
You can find me on Twitter under the @TheCrashing WWEG, and also very stoked to be here, man. Thanks a lot for making me an official member of the panel, and also again thank Akira Like I can't thank that guy enough. Like I just can't understand any of the hate that came towards him over like the past couple of weeks. It's like, dude, you're like one of the most awesome people I've met on that platform. Like honestly, every time you're on the timeline, you instantly make my day better. Like I just want to show you, man, you're awesome. You're awesome. You're all awesome.
Oh, bro, we're feeling the love, and you're awesome, dude. And yeah, shout out to Akira. I couldn't agree more. And yeah, like I just want to make this perfectly clear. If anyone that I follow on Twitter or who follows me uses the X-tard word or phrase, or refers to disabilities or race or sexuality as some kind of assault to a person's character, or as an insult to try and take the piss, it's really not classy. And I don't want to sound like I'm not a perfect guy. I mess up and I say shit I regret, but it's never that shit. It's never racist or homophobic or sexism or shit like that. And there's one thing that I really hate, and it's when I see a friend being insulted and trolled because of his race, where he's from, and it really makes me passionately upset, to the point where, you know, my girlfriend could see I was visibly angry when I saw this shit that Akira was dealing with, and how he deals with it on a regular basis. So yeah, if anyone like thinks that's okay or uses those kind of slurs in their talk or in their banter or in their console wars nonsense, like I'll not just block you, I'll report and block you. All right, so I just wanted to make that perfectly clear. There are reasons why there are guys that are quite popular on Twitter, but I don't follow them, and it's because they say shit like that. All right, so yeah. With that being said, guys, on a positive note, the vast majority of the people I follow on Twitter, or I know, or people in this chat tonight, are awesome. A1 PlayStation, massive love to you, dude. Xbox Oneers, yeah, that's nothing, bro. X-boners, XB1ers, that's, I don't know like how you say it, but I'm used to that. You know, that's not really what I'm talking about.
Sorry. So we're Pegasus now. We're not ponies anymore. So PlayStation are Pegasus now.
Oh,
yeah, I've been seeing this Pegasus term for a while.
Apparently, Pegasus are like ultra ponies. They're like ponies that have a level of who have ascended to the realms of, I don't know, greatness, because they have. I mean, shout out to my good friend on Twitter. I say he's a good friend. I don't know the guy, but we get on, and he does my freaking nut in. Like I want to slap him sometimes through the power of the internet, but. He's Pretzel Jones. Now, a lot of people can't tolerate the guy. I like him because he's all fun and games, right? And he takes them and sometimes he pushes my buttons and I shoot him down, and he's like, "Oh, well, you had to go and spoil the party." And it's like, and we finish as friends. So it's really cool, that guy. So yeah, he kind of uses this term Pegasus as well for people for ponies that he respects. So yeah.
We ascended,
Pretzel Jones is like it's like Optimus Code, you know, saying the piss, but technically he's actually a passionate
The difference
gamer.
is Pretzel Jones doesn't block you for telling him he's wrong.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Shout out to Optimus Code. I don't know.
We
I doubt he'll
ascended,
ever watch this, but
we ascended from pony to Pegasus. Thanks to Porterock. Shout out to Porterock. Porterock is the one that came up with it.
Well,
I'm like, why are we getting called Pegasus? And he's like, yeah, because Pegasus are much higher than ponies. I'm like, okay, fuck it, we go with that.
Shit. I love that shit.
Yeah, bro, I'm gonna carry that. I dig that. Pegasus. I like Pegasus.
Me, I'm just a woolly gamer. That's all I am. And on that note, my guys, I'm going to wish you all a very pleasant evening, a well-deserved sleep, a shitload of love from the panel, projected through the power of the internet to all you amazing listeners who have listened in or are listening in at a later time. Thank you so
Stay
much for being
awesome.
here. Stay awesome. And yeah, Young out.